Ok, sí, hey, hey, hola, 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 hey, 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 hey. No está saliendo nada. Hola, 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 hola. Hey, hey. Hola, hola. Está sacando por monitor. Hey, 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 hola, hola, hola. Sí, hola, hey. Sí, hola, hola. Hola, hola, sí, hey, 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 hey. Hola, 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 hola. Hola, hola, hola. Ahí sí. Hey, 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 hey. Hola, hola, hola. Hey, hey.
Black is Black. Venga, Black is Black. Black is Black y Roll Over Beethoven, por ejemplo. Cuando queráis.
Sí, 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 va a pegar aquí.
Black is black. I want my baby back. It's rain since away, away. What can I do? 'Cause I feel blue. If out of my way, since we back today, but she don't intend to see me again. Oh, what can I do? 'Cause I feel blue. Can I choose stand to lose my love too strong? I got the rolling rocks that sing down the river review. Roll over Beethoven, I rock it in 2x2. Well, if you feel it, you like it, I gotta love it and feel and rock it. Roll over the move on and on, just drop for the feeling and rock it. On and on, roll over Beethoven. Woo!
Well, you do hear me now. Here we go. So, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, our dear band that's going to be with us this afternoon. Thank you, all of you, for coming to this fantastic event. I'm going to be your host. My name is Alex Barrera. I'm going to be your host for this afternoon, so I hope you enjoy the show. And without further ado, we're going to see the first block of startup finalists that had already been selected through the whole day. This is a block that's called the Industrial Revolution 2.0. And there's someone very special that's going to present this block. He's been a venture capital in Spain for a while. He's been president of the National Venture Capital Association for quite some time, too. His name is Javier Ulecia from Bulner Capital. Please give us a big applause for Javier, who's going to be the one running the show now.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Alex, for your kind introduction. So this is the first pack of presentations for the competition of startups. We are going to talk about industrial revolution. We have 4 companies. All of them are based in Spain. And all of them, they have products and technology that are going to revolutionize their sectors. So we are in the energy, clean energy, and aerospace, specifically. Before starting, let me thank the jury. We have 4 members. We have Barry Schuller from DFJ, which is one of the most famous venture capital firms in the world. We have Juan Garrigosa, who is in charge of technology in Endesa. We have Roberto Marin, founder of MOA Viajes, among other things. And we have Carlos Blanco, who is one of the most famous entrepreneurs and business angels in Spain. So let's start with the first company who claims that they are going to be able to enable an aircraft to stay in flight in case of engine failure using a hybrid propulsion system. The company is named Axter Aerospace, and they come from Madrid.
Probar. Vamos a probar. El verde. Okay. Hello. My name is Miguel Suarez, and I'm a co-founder of Axter Aerospace. I guess that you all have a car, and in your car you are used to have safety belts, airbags, ABS, and many devices that improves the safety of the car. And do you think that airplanes are as safe as cars? And I'm not referring to the big ones you are used to see at the airport. I'm referring to small ones with a single engine. Every year, 700 accidents are caused by engine failure during the flight, and 70 people die. It is 44 times the rate of the Spanish traffic accidents. By the way, do you remember this accident? It was the accident of Harrison Ford, which happened in March this year. And I'm here because I have the solution. We developed a safety system based on hybrid propulsion, where an electric motor flies and powers the airplane when the engine fails. It prevents the accident and saves the life of the crew. After 4 years of development, we have already a product tested and certified. And we can say that we put into the market the first hybrid safety system. And any company who wants to do something similar to us would need a few years to put a product outside as well. We sell a self-installation kit for all airplanes and also from brand new ones. And so far, we got a couple of orders, but we expect to achieve at least 15% of the market in less than 5 years. And in addition, we realized that we did not only develop a safety system, but we created top technology in electric propulsion, which has application to airplanes, UAVs, cars, boats, and any vehicle that you can imagine. Everything started with an idea in 2011. Daniel, my partner, and me invested our time, our money, and our life to make this idea a reality. And it is fair to say that there is also a lot of people who are not shown today, which also contributed to that. So now we start our second phase, and we have the mission to sell and to supply the system all over the world. And for that reason, we open the doors to any partner and any distributors who can help and support on this mission. And that's all what I wanted to share with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We maybe have some questions from the jury. Barry?
Sure. So when you switch over to the electric engine, what's the range?
The range is today 7 minutes. That it depends on the airplane. It could mean between 20 and 25 kilometers extra range.
I'd like to know a little bit about the rest of the team, please.
Sorry, say again.
Rest of the team. I would like to know a little bit more about the rest of the team.
Sorry, I didn't catch
The team. I would like to know a little bit more about the rest of the team.
The team, we have Daniel, who is an electric engineer, an aeronautical engineer and pilot. And we have people from City Engineering Group, which is a very known company because it's one of the top suppliers for Airbus, which help us on some kind of like mechanical analysis. And we also have the support of the University Carlos III of Madrid, which contributed to develop the control of the electric motor.
Next time. I'm sorry, we are out of time. So thank you very much. And well, remember this guy has invented the Prius of the airplanes. So thank you, guy.
Thank you.
The second company is going to present is a company that they say they are going to produce energy at minimum cost using sea-wave power generators. Welcome to the stage, Biomibal from Valencia.
Good afternoon. My name is Rafael Aparicio, and I came here to speak you about Biomibal. Biomibal obtains energy from sea waves through a design inspired in the beak of a flamingo. All of us with energy, and fossil energy is not sustainable. We need another energies, and we always think about sun and wind, and we forget the most important energy on Earth, sea waves. 30 times the energy of the sun. 40 times the energy of the wind. Constant, sustainable, predictable. Why are we not using that? Because it's difficult to achieve. What have we done? We saw that the flamingo creates waves with his beak. We extracted the shape, put into water, made computer calculation, and saw that this shape is capable to take 15 to 40% of the energy of the wave. Our competitors take only 10%. This is revolutionary. Why we get this amount of energy? Because our technology rotates in the same direction independently on the one of the waves. And at the same time, we have no intermediates as mechanical, neither fluid parts. We are now, at this moment, building a prototype in the port of Valencia. It's patented. And our milestones, 5 years ago, this was an idea. And at this moment, we are going to make a trip in Chile to raise money. We have a step. We are going to build buoys because transmission buoys need this kind of technology, and we have it. The team is a multidisciplinary team. We have an environmental engineer, philosopher like me, a designer, and an expert in financials. This is our partners that have trust in us. And in summary, I am offering you the best energy for a best future in the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you. We have time for 2 questions from the jury.
Okay, I'll make it count. Can you tell us how much it costs and what the return on investment, how long does it take to pay back?
Are you asking about the return of investing?
How much does it cost? I understand there's all different sizes, but have you calculated if a municipality or a country installs it in a port, how long does it take to recoup the cost of installation?
We have asked so many people that had told us that our big dream is to build big power stations, but in the step we need to build little ones and earn money from the first time. We are going to earn money this year with a little buoy in the port of Valencia. Valencia has little waves. We are going to go after that to Chile because Chile is the first country in the world to create waves energy.
We have another question? No? Okay. So don't forget that Rafael, he's a philosopher. He's not an engineer. Thank you very much, Rafael. The third company that is going to present is a company that they claim that they produce hydrogen and oxygen using renewable energy sources. Let's try to understand what they mean by that, and let's welcome Bound for Blue to the stage.
Byrne once said, hydrogen will be the coal of the future. Nowadays, and thanks to our technology, we know that this day is just about to happen. Welcome, everyone. I'm Christina. I'm going to present you Bound for Blue, the project we are developing. Today, 50% of the hydrogen produced comes from natural gas. But its price increase and volatility and the global need to reduce the polluting emissions makes us think about a change. Only 4% of the hydrogen produced comes from electrolysis using renewable resources. And this is because the system is not cost efficient due to the high price of the electricity. But this is something we will change with Bound for Blue. Bound for Blue is the first ship specifically designed for the production of hydrogen and oxygen by means of the electrolysis of seawater. The rigid wing sails propel the boat and generate a water-flowing in the submerged turbine, producing mechanical energy, which will later be converted into electricity to produce hydrogen and oxygen by the electrolysis. The hydrogen and the oxygen will be stored on board. The whole system and the rigid wing sails are protected by 7 patents, and also 2 additional patents were presented this year. Hydrogen has a market of more than $80,000 million with growth rates of more than 5% per year. So we already have a real market there. Also, the oxygen market reached in 2010 100 million annual tons. Here you can see the current production methods of hydrogen, and you can see that Bound for Blue is not only competitive in cost with the renewable resources, but also with the non-renewable. And this is mainly because of the high efficiency of our wing sails and because of the load factors we can reach thanks to the mobility key point. Our business model is not focused on being manufacturers and integrators of each of the subsystems, and instead is based on generating income by means of technology transfer and licenses, just as biotech companies do. Bound for Blue is formed by a young and energetic team, which combines different backgrounds, and has experience to do it thanks to their past activities in several startups. Also, we wanted to join the best partners and stakeholders to join the project. Actually, Series A is almost closed, which will cover the expenses of the first year of the project's development. So we invite you all to join us, or investing in this round, which will be open until December, or if you think your company can bring added value to the project, be part of Bound for Blue as one of our partners. Thank you all for your attention, and remember that Band for Blue will one day be the cool of the near future. Me mates.
Thank you very much, Christina. I hope the jury will have some questions.
You just explain again what's the process by which you get the hydrogen? The boat, is it out in the water? I didn't understand what was happening.
The boat turns on the engine and goes to an area of high wind speed, and then the wind sails propel the boat, and under the water there are some turbines and generate mechanical energy because of the relative velocity into the water and the boat, and this is later converted into electricity, and by the electrolysis of the seawater, you produce hydrogen and oxygen, which you store it in high-pressure ISO tanks. And once it is completely full, you return to port and empty the tanks, unload the boat, and start the process again.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Christina. That was Bound for Blue.
Okay.
And the last company that is going to present, coming from Madrid, they say that they can reduce 30% the energy consumption using an intelligent underfloor heating system. Let's welcome Hugh from Plugterm.
Hello, everybody. This is Hugh Martí, founder of Plugterm. After being in several companies, I realized that there are a common problem in thermal issues. First one, how and where we warm, radiators, heat pumps, use convection, drying the air and put the warm on the top and cold on the bottom, just the other way around of the ideal. Second one, have you ever experienced that cold air coming from a bad ceiling and the cost of it? Third one, why everything could not be controlled by a smart device. In my previous job, when I have a claim with thermal issues, I should call to my boss to the facility manager to the owner of the builder, and the owner of the builder to the company that managed the maintenance. Wow. And my favorite one, have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced in your office someone that have different comfort temperatures than yours? Imagine the future of the thermal comfort. That exists, and it's called Plugterm. That's a normal office, everyone the same temperature. With our system, you can create areas, you can link to a worker and give them the capacity to choose their own comfort temperature, while we are reducing the general temperature by 3 degrees. We achieve that with our patented tile. It's a multi-layer. We have a resistor element, isolation, a structure with electronics and sensors, achieving savings of 2,000 euros per year in a 300 square meters office, giving an amazing control to the users. At the same time, our competence is just fixing to 21 degrees. We can put our temperature to 18 and just emphasizing where and when the worker is. Imagine all the power of big data that we have with that system. The market of heating system is over $26 billion annually and growing. If we take a look to zoning versus efficiency, we can have fireplace and heaters, we can have radiators, heat pumps, and we can have intelligent like Nest, intelligent thermostats, and Plugterm. Our business model is based on selling our intelligent tile and later on software as a service. We have won several awards, we have patent, different technical agreements, and the next month we will have the first full working prototype. We are an experienced team with previous work in startups, domotics, and architecture, plus some advisors. We have already achieved 450K, and we are looking 300K to install 10 pilot plants in different facilities. We have already closed the first one with one of the biggest retail companies in Spain. Next time you're going to be in your office and you have a claim with your colleagues for thermal comfort, you will remember us. Welcome to Plugterm, welcome to the tile of the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have a couple of questions from the jury. Time for that.
Can you just clarify, so does this work together with central heating of some kind, or can it operate strictly with the tiles?
Again, sorry?
Is this meant to handle all of the heating requirements of a room or together with an existing central heating system?
Heating system, our system, it's enough.
Okay.
We have 80 watts per square meter, and it's enough.
So you wouldn't need a heat pump plus this?
For cooling.
For cooling, yes?
Yes, for
Okay.
heating, no.
Could you please give us more information about the performance of your technology comparing with some others, please?
We have run an analysis, an external, a third party has run an analysis where it's comparing a house, an office, and a big building like a church in Madrid, in Seattle, and in Stockholm, compare with heater pumps, radiators, and the floor heating system, water and electric. In all that cases, we have an average of that 30%. All the increase, all that manage that we can achieve reducing that 3 degrees, it's plus. It's not the manager that we achieve the 30%, it's just comparing with our system. We have put the resistor element so close to the surface, just attached to an isolation layer, that we are forcing all the heat going up really quick. And all the losses that we could have, it just hit. It's where we want to have, in the floor, where we want to warm. That's all.
You have a question? No? Okay. Luke, thank you very much. So that's all. These were the 4 finalists for the Industrial Revolution competition. The die is in the cast. La suerte está echada. The jury will deliberate and decide who is the winner, and tomorrow we will know it during the awards ceremony. Thank you very much for attending. I hope that you have enjoyed their presentations. Good luck to the entrepreneurs, and let's continue with the show. Thank you.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you really never caught a robber, ain't no friend of mine. You ain't say to all high class, but there's a lie. You ain't say to all high class, but there's a lie. Nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never gonna run, ain't no friend of a dog.
Thank you very much, guys. Well, okay, let's try this again, guys, because I'm not feeling the love here. Okay, let's try it again. Big round of applause to the band. Come on, guys. Woo! Come on, there we go. There we go. You still, I know it's siesta time, but you know, let's try and pump it here. So the next speaker is something that I'm very excited to listen to his talk. The talk is called Unlocking Singularity, or a glimpse of what's going to happen next. So we're going to get a glimpse into the future of what's going to happen next from someone that has been doing this for quite so many years. He's been the founder of a very well-known company in the security industry called Aladdin Knowledge Systems that was sold in 2009 after 23 years of running the company to SafeNet. He's pretty much into space, so he's a president, he's a chairman at Space IL, and he's also a member and an investor at the Space Angel Network in Israel. So please help me welcome Yankee on the stage, please.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm going to talk about the future. You know, it's easy to talk about the future because you can make so many statements, nobody can check you. So I'm going to talk about the late-end future. Let me start by saying that I don't try to predict the future. There's no way for me to predict the future. I'm really much more interested in the present. So let me find the button, and we'll take it from here. Go. Okay, this is me. I built companies, I sold companies, I invest in companies. I was a DJ for a while. This is what I'm really proud of. And these days, by the way, I'm helping an Israeli team to build a spaceship to go to the moon. We have good news today. Today we have announced our launch date for the spaceship. By the end of 2017, we plan to send a robot to the moon to take pictures, so we are very proud of that. But let's go to talk about the future. Allow me to start with two myths, okay? Two myths that I somehow believe that most of us share. Myth number one is that life is cyclic. People tend to believe that things go in cycles. Things go up and down, things go in cycle. I truly disbelieve, I don't believe in this cyclic way of looking at the universe. I don't think that life is a cycle. I think that what we are experiencing, especially today, is a clear arrow. There is progress, there is change, and we live in very interesting times. We live in times of significant change, fast change. Humankind is changing. Mankind is changing. We build startups here. We invest in startups here. We do with technology all around us. But I think that sometimes we have to wake up and look at the full picture. And I'm going to show you that life is not a cycle, that things are happening. Things are changing. Mankind is changing. And I'm going to show you that technology has a very strong part in this change. Many of us, and this is the second myth, many of us still believe that technology is like a hammer. Technology is something that we have created. We hold it in our hands. We use it. We own it. We invented it. And we are smarter than the hammer. Guys, wake up. We have created something which is becoming larger than us. And this is great news. I'm going to share the news with you. But let's embrace technology as it is today. Technology is alive. Technology is thinking. Technology is cognitive. Technology is connecting everybody around us. It's not a hammer anymore. Don't be misguided by the concept of holding a tool in your hand and using it. The most stupid statement I hear from people is that computers will never be smarter than the programmers that have developed them. Guys, nonsense. We raise kids, and we want our kids to be smarter than us. We raise computers, we write software. The software in the computer eventually will become smarter than us. But I'd like to make a twist here. I'm not a doom guy. I don't think that computers will software will overcome mankind. I think the future is different. What we're going to see is an integration. Mankind is changing. Technology is becoming part of who we are. Our kids are going to be combined. I am combined. I have in my pocket, I have part of me. This is part of me. It's in my pocket. Part of my memories, part of my stories, part of my communications. It's in my pocket. It will be connected stronger and stronger to me, and it will be connected stronger and stronger to our kids. Our kids will be an integrated thing of technology, electronics, computers, and mankind. So let's try and look at that future. So now let's go forward. Perfect. What I'm trying to give you today is the feeling that there is a clear arrow of time, a clear arrow of progress, a clear arrow of change, and tech has a very significant part in our next junction. So let's embrace it, and let's remain optimistic about the future, because it's very easy now to fall back and say, wow, computers and robots will overrun mankind. No, I'm an optimistic guy. I will show you that in a second. I want you to use your imagination. Okay, let's do a short imagination exercise. I want to show you a product. This is a product. It's a telepresence robot. If you are tired going to meetings and to sit in meetings and to write notes, in the future we'll be able, today you can send somebody to represent you in meetings. This is telepresence robot version number 1.0. Now use your imagination. Think about this telepresence robot. He can write notes, he can take video, he can do many things. And I want you to imagine version 7.0 of the same product. Can you imagine that? Can you do the exercise and imagine the next generation of our telepresence robot? Well, I used my imagination, and this is what I have in mind. And this is not a joke. We are going in this direction. We are going in the direction of creating much more intelligent, much more man-looking, woman-looking, mankind-looking technology that will be integrated with whatever we are doing. I see two big avenues that actually take us from the present to the future. Avenue number one is electronics, artificial intelligence, big data. We are making a lot of progress in creating smarter and smarter machines, smarter and smarter software, to use more and more big data, to reach more and more conclusions, to analyze more data, and to do it more in a smart way. But this is just avenue number one to the future. Let me share with you avenue number two. And avenue number two is much more interesting. And we don't talk a lot about it. It's the biology of our own species. It's the biology itself. In the last 10 years, we have been able to understand better and better and better another computer, not just the electronic computer, but also the biological computer. We understand better now our DNA. We understand better our neurons. We understand it better and better. Not just that we can read the information, today we can more and more write the information. We can engineer life. We can create life, engineer life. I'm not sure that many of us have really understood the significance of the change which is happening right now in our ability to engineer life, program life. So if you look at the future, I would suggest that it's a combination. It's a combination of our biological inheritance plus the electronics that we have developed. Something is going to come out of that. So I'd like you to answer that question. What is the end game? Where are we going to? What is the future of mankind? I mean, yes, we have iPhone number 7 and iPhone number 6 and iPhone number 8 and 10 and whatever, and we make all those new wonderful applications. But let's think about the big picture. What's the end game? Where are we going to? There is a statement made by Craig Venter, which I really find amazing. And Craig Venter has said that the digital and the biological worlds are becoming interchangeable. Interchangeable is a very strong word. It's not just connected, it's interchangeable. Part of your mind is going to run on a computer. Part of the computer will run on your mind. We will use the electronic platform and the biological platform and interchange them to get results. We will be combined. And I think that this is not the very long-term future. This is happening just in front of us, in front of our eyes. Are we ready for that change? Are we ready for the creation of what I call Homo sapiens 2.0? Because the way I feel it, we are about to create Homo sapiens 2.0. And you know what's so important about Homo sapiens 2.0? What is so I think that not everybody will become an Homo sapiens 2.0. This is not the way evolution is working. It's not that one day we will wake up in the morning and we will find ourselves that mankind has transformed to a new Homo sapiens 2.0. But some of us will divert. And I think this is the greatest challenge of our generation, of your generation. The greatest challenge is to make sure that as many people will reach the future. As many people will be able to enjoy from the metamorphosis, from whatever change is happening right now, and the creation of Homo sapiens 2.0. Allow me now quickly to go into the present. I'm not going to talk about the future for a while. I'm not going to talk about the future. I want to share with you quickly the current state of technology, the current state of what is happening right now in the field, in laboratories, so that we can have a feeling of this big change which is happening upon us. So let's start quickly with stories that I'm sure that most of them you know already. Let's start with robots, okay? Robots, my favorite robots. On the left-hand side, we see Curiosity now on Mars, preparing the first settlements of mankind on Mars. In a few dozens of years, we will see people on Mars. We will live on Mars. On the left side, on the bottom left side, you see a swarm of robots. Robots will not come one by one. Robots will be connected. Robots will create, for me, it reminds like bees all working together to create common intelligence of many robots together. On the right upper side, you see X-47B. This is a frightening robot. This is the next generation of a fighter, of an air combat fighter. What is unique about X-47B is the fact that you cannot put a carbon-based creature, a carbon-based pilot in the cockpit. There's no place for a pilot anymore. So we are creating the next level of technology, the one which needs less and less people. And by the way, I have some good news to break to you right now. Soon, nobody will have a work. Nobody will have a job. And this is great news, because think about it. What are we doing with all this development and whatever, all this progress? What we are doing is that we are replacing man muscle, man brain. We are replacing it with superior technology, superior products, or whatever. So pilots will be redundant pretty soon, modern pilots. All of us will be redundant. And one of the greatest challenges of us, the next generation, is what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What do we want to do? What do we do with our spare time? How do we use our time? What is life? Because work is not going to be the meaning of life in the next generation. We don't need workers anymore. We'll have robots and software, etc. On the bottom part, on the right side, you see also a next generation of robots. I will not be able to give a lot of information about those robots right now. You can approach me after my talk. But for those of you who are really interested, I can tell you that the female robot over there has 3 engines. I cannot add any more right now. And the male part, the male robot over there, has only 1 engine. And now a serious comment here. We are going to see marriage, relationships, whatever you want to assume between men, people, and robots. I would suggest in the near future. It's part of the future. We can see it already. So robots is just entry number 1. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. I'm sure that everybody here has heard about Watson, the next generation, whatever artificial intelligence software computer made by IBM. What is extremely interesting about Watson is that what it is going to do next, because Watson, I assume that you already heard about it, has won the World Jeopardy, the World Who Wants to Be a Millionaire competition just a couple of years ago. But next, Watson is going to be your medical doctor. And next, Watson is going to be your advisor. And next, Watson is going to replace lots of our intellectual, mental capacities that we have right now. Allow me to give you a prediction. In 15 to 20 years, you will not dare to go to consult a carbon-based medical doctor. Our medical doctors, like our pilots, like everybody else almost, is going to be a computer or a software piece. What is even more interesting about artificial intelligence and the next generation of artificial intelligence is the fact that we are going to see it everywhere. Our kids are going to hold Barbie dolls who have the capability to land a spaceship on the moon. Each Barbie doll, in a few years, will have more computing power than the Apollo 11 computing power that was needed to land on the moon. Why do you need computing power much more than Apollo 11 in a Barbie doll? You need it because the Barbie doll is going to be extremely intelligent. It's going to have AI capabilities. It's going to have personality. And not just our Barbie dolls and everything around us is going to be computerized, and not just computerized, but with high artificial intelligence and high abilities to make decisions or to do other things. We talked about robots, we talked about artificial intelligence. Let's talk about 3D printing. 3D printing is completely changing whatever we know about reality today. We can print today food, organs. We can print in 350 different materials. We can print engines. When we go to Mars, when you go to settle Mars, it's going to be extremely expensive to send breakfast from Earth to Mars. We will not send our breakfast from Earth to Mars. We will print our breakfasts on Mars. We will print everything. The whole idea of going to shopping, for example, going to shopping today is I go to the shop, I buy, I come back. Shopping in the future is I sit at my house, I download, and I print. I print whatever I want. So the whole concept of reality is changing. We are going to print buildings and bridges and organs and human organs. The whole concept of what is reality is changing because we are able now to print reality. By the way, this is a simulation of a house printed from ice on Mars. One of the ideas is to melt water on Mars and to use it to build houses on Mars for the settlements to come in the next dozens of years. Let's talk about transportation. Transportation is changing completely. We are going to see more and more autonomous cars. Let me give you a prediction. Within 15 years, nobody will be really driving a car here. You know why we will not be driving cars? Because we are really bad at driving cars. We are murdering over 1 million people every year in car accidents, 1.2 million people a year. So computers, software, robots will drive our cars. So we will see autonomous cars, we will see flying cars, we will see drones, we will see fast cars. And this is not real, long-term future. This is happening just in our own generation, in front of our eyes. This is a truck that just a couple of days ago was announced by Mercedes-Benz, and this is an autonomous car driving in Europe right now, no driver. We will not need drivers pretty soon. We will not need drivers, we will not need pilots, we will not need doctors, we will not need people to work. So wake up and just think about it. What do we really want to do? Because work is not an option anymore, at least pretty soon. Energy is completely changing around us. I believe that energy is the real coin, the real basis of all economy in the world is energy. And things are changing pretty quickly here. Not only that we learn to produce more and more clean, cheap energy from the sun, from other places. We know how to produce this energy. We learn better and better how to store that energy in better and better batteries. Once we solve the battery issue, we, on the one hand, can generate cheap, clean energy and then store it properly, and we have solved the energy problem. The universe is full of energy. We don't lack energy. Every atom, the sun, look around you, it's full of energy. All we need is the engineering abilities to capture that energy, store that energy, and use it properly. And we are doing it. Now, think about a world in which the energy is clean and almost free. Free and clean energy. If energy is free, then what else is free? Actually, everything. Energy is free, water is free, food is free, abundance is around us. We are going to solve all these major issues, and I believe that it's going to take us a few dozens of years that we will reach the state of the ability of, clean, free, abundant energy and abundance in general. Let's talk about food. Food is completely changing around us. Two significant issues here. One, we're going to see more and more food with the purpose to change our mind. Food is not just to eat when you're hungry, but food is something that you want to consume to create and change your state of mind. So I believe that we're going to see more and more types of food, like coffee. coffee or other drugs that are going to be mind changers. We are going to see more and more artificial foods. If you look at the stack just on the left bottom side over there, this is a very expensive piece of meat. It's about 250,000 euros for that, and it's not so tasty, to be honest with you. But I believe that in a few years, we are going to have extremely low cost, very tasty artificial meat in our hands. And again, the whole food industry is going to change as we are able to produce clean, healthy, new type of foods, which are also not so expensive. But let's look at the most important and the most amazing part of the change which is happening around us. Because computers and robots and 3D printers and even food, it's all external. But the big revolution is happening with life itself. We are reinventing, recreating, re-engineering life itself. We are actually combining chemicals and create new organisms that have not lived before. We are programming DNA. We are changing DNA. We are exploring our minds more and more. And I believe that those changes are going to be extremely significant for our future. Let's look at the small robots, small biological robots, computers on the right bottom side. Those are small computers, biological computers. I can give you a teaspoon of water, and within this teaspoon of water, you will have 3 million small computers that you will swallow, and those computers will be working inside your body. Think about it. I mean, in a way, we will not be connected to the internet just through the internet. We will be connected to the internet through our bodies. We will be connected to the internet from within our cells. We will use computers inside our bodies. True, these are small computers. True, they are not very powerful. This is just the beginning. But we see more and more research and products coming with such computers. So we are creating life. We are engineering life. We are building computers to be integrated inside our bodies. We are changing mankind. So again, I'd like to make a small pause here and ask you the question: where are we going? What's the future? I mean, many of you here in this audience, you deal with technology, you deal with startups, you invest in startups, you develop startups, you deal with software, but what is the end result? Where are we going to? And I think that too less we use this opportunity to stop for a second and contemplate what is the future to look like once we develop all that technology that we have shared here. Ray Kurzweil is saying that if you take the current way things are going, Ray predicts that by the year 2045, we will reach a singularity point in which computers, artificial intelligence, will be much more intelligent than mankind, to a point that we may reach immortality, to a point that we may reach something that we cannot predict right now. Honestly, I'm not standing here today to tell you that we are going to reach immortality in a few dozens of years. I don't think that we are going to reach immortality in a few dozens of years. But I definitely believe that our kids will be living much longer, that we will conquer more and more diseases. We will develop medicine more and more. And our kids will be happier, and our kids will live longer. And it will not be totally unpredictable that our kids will be able to live for 150 or 200 years. I think that we are going in this direction. We should be ready for that direction of living much longer life. I believe that 80 is the new 20. The idea is not just to extend life. The idea is not just to make sure that we live longer and longer and longer. The idea is to make sure that we live better life, healthier life, and therefore 80 is becoming the new 20. Allow me just to summarize my talk right now. I went a bit too long, and I'd like to actually jump with you to the last slide of my presentation. And actually, let me tell you that I somehow portrayed a very optimistic picture. But there are problems, there are issues, there are risks. And we should be careful and we should be looking at the risk. And I draw here 3 major concerns, my personal concerns. The first one is social gaps. The second one is abused Earth. The third one is tech itself goes wrong. I will not be able to extend on that right now, but we have challenges. Social challenges, technological challenges, Earth challenges. We have to look at those challenges and be aware of the change. So quickly, I really have to cut it short a bit. Let me go to my last slide. And my last slide is that if we really want to continue and think about the next generation, and really want to think about our kids, we have to make sure that 3 things are continuing to happen. 1, we continue tech innovation. We continue innovation, invention, and whatever is happening over here. But at the same time, we must invest much more in eco-innovation and in social innovation, because otherwise, mankind, will not sustain the change. Not all of us will reach the future. And we have a responsibility to make sure that as many of us can reach the future. So I'd like to thank you for your attention, and let's make the cake bigger. Let's make sure that we distribute the cake in a better way, and let's eat a bit less. Technical innovation, social innovation, and eco-innovation, I believe that these are the 3 real solutions to the future of mankind. Thank you very much.
If I could dive in the city, working for the man every night and day, I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worry about the way this might have been. Be with to keep on turning, primary keep on burning. It's rolling, 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 rolling on the river.
Thank you very much, guys. So we have a very interesting panel, and before I introduce it, I want to introduce you the moderator, because I think she's very special for everyone here at the South Summit. She's very special for me. So just before that, please welcome Sofia Benjumea to the stage, please. Come here with me. Come here with me. You might not know this, but she's my sister from another family, okay? So I just want to ask you something. What you're feeling now that you're not working here, is the South Summit this year better than last year that you were working in it?
Of course it is. No, yeah. I mean, I was literally crying this morning.
She's crying. I mean, who wants her to cry right now, please? Applause? Who wants her to cry now? Come on, guys. Let's make her cry. No, are you sure?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so I'm going to leave them with a fantastic panel on the challenges and the opportunities in a connected world, which there are plenty. So, Sofia, my dear, stage is yours.
Thank you so
Enjoy,
much.
guys.
I invite you, all my participants. It's a pretty crowded panel, but we're going to make it all together pretty active and proactive. And if we still have time, we'll also launch the questions to the audience. So, just sit with me, whatever, just take the stack. There you go. Awesome. Okay, where is it? Thank you all. Thank you very much for being here with us. So today we live in a world where it's constantly connected and getting more and more, at home, in the office, wherever we go, whatever we do. But if you think that we already live in a connected world, get ready, because today less than 1% of the things that can be connected to the internet are actually connected to the internet. So we've got a long way ahead still. And companies such as Cisco actually estimates that the Internet of Everything economy promises a 14 trillion in value of state for private sector companies globally over the next 10 years. So today we are gathering here at South Summit with some of the leading corporations from different industries and different sectors to talk about the challenges, the opportunities, and the future of this connected world. So I have with me Norberto Mateos, Southern Europe Territory Director at Intel Corporation, Paco Jariego, Director of Industrial Internet of Things at Telefónica, an innovation unit within Telefónica looking to the opportunities and, of course, the challenges of the IoT offers to Telefónica. Teodoro Garcia from Future Energy Leaders. Paul Navarro, he's the head of digital transformation at Banco Sabadell, one of Spain's biggest banking groups, who's leading all the programs to become, let's say, 100% digital DNA company. Maite Gonzalez, who is the head of customer service and digital transformation at Endesa NL, and Jose Maria Fuster, who's leading innovation at Banco Santander, a great challenge. So I want to take the opportunity of having all of you here today gather the key figures from 3 of the key kind of industries. If we talk about banking, we're talking about telcos and tech companies, and of course, energy. How are you reacting? Are you at all to this ultra-connected world, and what are the infrastructures that you think that you guys need to put in place today so that we really reach one day a fully connected world? So let's start with the ladies, for example.
Okay. Okay. What we think is that the new technologies, they are viable, they exist today, but what we think is really relevant is how the consumers, they adopt these technologies, right? And what we see is that the digitalization of the companies, this is a reality we have to face, and we have to embrace this change. And what we see is the change in the consumer. I mean, the consumer now is like digital, connected, social. Secondly, they have the power. They are empowered with all the information that the technology can allow them to decide things and to choose companies to be with. Then they are also, in our sectors, they are also adopting new technologies that can change our real infrastructure, like let's think of electric vehicles or distributed generation. These are things that will happen, that may happen, and it will change our infrastructure. And the issue is how can we make all these technologies be adopted by the consumer at the right pace? This is not really easy. What I can say is that right now in Spain, we have 11 million of smart meters already installed. And this is a huge potential of gathering information from the consumption of the consumers by hour. Every hour we know every people of these 11 million people, how they consume. And this is you know, an enormous opportunity to develop new customer insights to you know, create new services or new products that may be useful for the customers. And I think the key issue is how are we going to develop these new services, you know, and not only thinking within ourselves, but also with more open innovation, and I think that's why we are here. Mm-hmm.
What about Santander? How are you facing the future of this connected world? Is it going to make crumble the whole entity?
See that the connected world is something that will continue to grow using this quadratic function that is the Metcalfe law. And we see that everybody is trying to maximize the person-to-person connectivity that has a limit, the number of people in the world, through the financial inclusion to the social inclusion of everybody with a mobile, the internet.org initiative from Facebook, etc. But this is putting a limit, a huge limit, to the value of the network. But Internet of Things add an additional limit. If you see 6 million people connected, and you consider that you can have 20 billion devices connected, the value of the network is, has a huge potential growth. And this is the idea behind the Internet of Things. Behind the Internet of Things, there are a set of technological problems that you have to solve. From banking perspective, there is the need to make another approach, and it's the blockchain technology that is the right one if you want to consider help to manage financial problems in the Internet of Things arena. So basically speaking, we see a huge, big opportunity if you consider the Internet of Things as the next step to make, to create value to the network effect in the future. And from the banking perspective, we see an enormous opportunity through this blockchain technology where we are going to change the paradigm instead of managing the financial information in a centralized way. We're going to manage the information through this distributed ledger model.
And jumping to telcos, Paco, what's your vision from Telefónica on, I mean, are you guys up to pace? What actions are you taking now to be ready for a full connectivity world?
Well, you introduced the question of asking us how we are looking at that, how we look the opportunity of IoT. The first reaction that we have, and this is not completely new, we've been talking about these questions for years, was, wow. We are in the middle of the action. We have we've won a lottery with this. We are going to have 50 billion things connected. So, I mean, that's fantastic. But immediately, we realized that today is so easy, so simple, and so cheap to connect things that everyone, practically everyone, can do it. So what we are looking is to a huge, incredible number of new things appearing in this space of the connectivity. The second thing that we said is, again, wow, we are in the middle of the action, so that means that we have the opportunity to collaborate with everyone, and we are going to be creating new services because the potential is absolutely very, 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 very large. And again, what we've discovered is that, and this is for my colleagues, there are not so many interesting ideas. It's difficult to come up with new ideas, with new business models, etc. And on top of that, most of them are going to be probably disruptive for some of the industries and some of the players in the industry. So we still see the opportunity, and we think that we are in a privileged position. And in fact, one message that I want to launch is that we are more than happy to collaborate with everyone that has an idea, a business idea that we can develop together. We are going to help them.
We're in the best place, actually, to open that proposal, I think.
Yeah,
So, Paul, I would love to hear on your side from also the banking industry, how Sabadell actually figure out this new relationship with users in a more connected world.
I would like to shift a little bit the message of, for us, what is more important is not the connected things, but is the connected customer. For us, everything is around the customer, so it's everything, it's mobile device, anything will be connected, but for us, the mantra that moves our strategy is always the customer, so it's really understanding what really means to be connected with customer. I think to make a comparison with another industry, probably the car industry, you had the fuel ones and the electric ones. No one of these probably is today the best solution. You have the hybrid ones, and for us also, the main challenge on banking is about making the best of physical and digital world and making an hybrid experience for our customers. So when we think about connected is how that we can really use technology that can be devices, that can be mobile phones, that can be any platform to really connect customers with our organization and really ensure that all the relationship is happening on digital, instead it's happening in a branch or at home with the customer. And then when we talk about digital transformation, the main challenge for us is how we really change how the organization thinks and works to become a more connected company on everything we do. And I will say probably 3 things for us are very important about changing the culture of the company. The first one is banks need to work like in a startup. We are not a risk-adverse company, and when you work on digital, you really need to change your mindset. The second one is the battle is on the interface, so it's not processes, it's not people anymore is fighting on the interface, and Apple, everyone is fighting on delivering the best interface. And the third one is on digital, everything happens on real time. So organizations are not prepared to react on real time with customers, and you probably need to change everything to really work on real time. And probably devices, sensors, and these kind of things can really help you put your organization on a more real-time focus than we are right now.
Norberto, how's Intel coping and reacting to these newer ones?
We have a vision, and in that vision, anything that consumes energy will compute and will connect. So this is making everything pervasively and taking to the numbers that Jose Maria was referring before, these billions of things. So as we envision computing, we're trying to make it more personal. We're trying to make it an extension of us. And this is not a matter of what, it's a matter of when this is going to happen. So I think we're all here trying to define which are going to be the business models that are going to happen. Business models that hunt for the customers, for the end users of them, new entrepreneurships, new business models for people that come and for people that are already there, that somehow are changing the traditional industries. Industries that a few years ago were just fighting to be in internet. This is much, it's a complete reshape of the core business of it.
Saying the business models is not that much like the technology is there. The technology is already here. It's more that we haven't yet, like, correct me if I'm wrong, no, it's not my subject, but it's more that we haven't yet managed to know how to make it useful, really, so that it's out there in the market and really becomes massive, no?
Exactly. This is not a matter of the technology. It's a matter of what is the value for the end user. Maybe just one example, Paul was referring to the cars. We're seeing the rise of the share car. We're seeing the rise of the shared economy. People maybe before always wanted to have things. Now people want to have access to things. They just want to use when they want a car. They may not want to pay the annual insurance or the parking always, etc. So that is what we need to solve now.
Teodoro, just also maybe more on an energy perspective, like how is this actually going to totally disrupt the industries, no? And what new things are going to come up of this new industrial revolution?
I think that energy and ICT, information and communication technology, have the same relationship as efficiency and connectivity. A more connected world means more efficient society. So in this perspective, we have to work as the South Summit proposed us in those type of panels with developers, entrepreneurs, and also the banking system, because I think that as happens in the energy market, we need financial support in order to develop a more connected world. Think about more connected world as a service, because finally the customer, I think, should see the connected market, the IoT market, as a service, not only as buying new devices. In the past, the first industrial revolution was supported by introducing new technology in manufacturing sectors. And I think that the new industrial revolution that is coming, Industry 4.0, that Telefonica is working on that now, and tomorrow I think you are involving in the presentation of the new study related with Industry 4.0. The new industrial revolution, the Industry 4.0, will be based on energy efficiency and connectivity. To achieve this objective, the objective of the new industrial revolution, promoting an efficient and more connected industry, we have to build up something that you mentioned this morning, that is a new ecosystem of startup with high specialization. Now we have a lot of startups developing new products, new platforms, new devices, but we have to put them together in a value chain in order to connect them to the industry, to the needs of the industry. That is not possible today, but I think that we have to work on that. Introduce also the banking system in order to make possible this connection between the small startups and big industries to solve this problem and to promote this Industry 4.0. A few days ago, I was working with the President of the European Parliament, Martin Schulz, in order to promote new ICT policies in the framework of the European Union in this way. In fact, we were talking with the President of the European Parliament in order to develop new specific calls for develop this new ecosystem in Europe and to enable a new industrial revolution based on digital skills. In this way, I think, in my opinion, that the Internet of Things should be one of the main points of attention of the ICT policy of the European Union. Internet of Things will improve, absolutely improve the European industry, the well-being of the workers, and the competitiveness of the European Union. Why is necessary the IoT? Why is necessary to close this first interview? I think that the people are limited, our brain are limited to collect all the data that happens around us. We need the devices, we need machines to collect this data, to process this data, and then we take some decisions based on that. But we are inefficient taking this data that happens around us. I think that's the way to be more efficient and to be more connected.
I think that you're driving a message on, like, it's all about Internet of Things, but I think that the play is actually going to be on who's the best at interpreting, or whatever you say, that data, no? On how it's really going to use. What do you think about this?
Can you repeat?
Like the challenge of actually this huge amount of data that is going to come out of this connected world, and how are we going to cope with it and adapt it to new business models?
The data problem, you have to consider several different things. First, you have to store the data, so you need to grow the storing capacity and the processing capacity to manage this data. And this is about the cloud problem. So cloud business is growing exponentially, and you need economies of scale if you want to manage the increasing amount of data that is coming in the world. So this is the first question, so the cloud question. The second important question is how to manage the data, how to get intelligence from the data. Traditional approaches, traditional statistical approaches are not enough. You need to use advanced approach based on use of intensive computing resources through machine learning algorithms. And this is a second area of growing. And there is a third consideration that is a question related to the way human being behaves. So if you analyze everything with the traditional human perspective, with the traditional heuristic models, you are losing all the power of the new machine learning models. So you need to change the way you are addressing the problems. You have to change the way you are analyzing the output of the data. You have to change the way you are presenting the data. So the way human beings interact with this new world has to change, and it is required a behavioral change. Basically speaking, these are the three ideas behind this data problem.
Adding to what Jose Maria was telling, I think probably looking at technological perspective today, the challenge is the storage of data and processing of data. But again, if we look at the customer, I think the challenge with data is about value and privacy. So probably as a customer, you will share your data with third parties if you really perceive value by sharing that data, and you really perceive that there's privacy on that relationship with third parties. I think, for example, to talk about one industry related to banking is insurance. Insurance will change radically how it will work with data and devices. Today, insurers work by protecting risk with data from the past, and I think in the future, insurance will work probably by predicting and taking information from the customer and probably delivering dynamic prices to customers based on their behavior. But again, as a customer, you will probably accept giving the data to a third party, an insurance company or whoever makes insurance products. by perceiving that you really have value with that relationship and that there's privacy around. Today with Apple Watch, many people is sending health information to Apple to aggregate that information and make probably trends about the health of the people. And again, it's about how do you feel sharing those data with others.
This is something, Norberto, you were driving, like how are we going to deal with the privacy and security issues, no, over the IoT?
Exactly, and I'm maybe trying to be a bit provocative. Privacy is something, if you look at the history of humanity, privacy is something that came up in the past, maybe a couple of hundreds of years. What would we give up first? Would we give up on technology or privacy? And I'm pretty sure most of the people would give up first on privacy than on technology. Just trying to be provocative. Huh?
Like Paco also wanted to add, and then I jumped to this.
I would like to change a bit the discussion and put the focus instead of on the data specifically, which of course is a huge potential, and if we think, for example, in industry and efficiency, operational process, etc., data are going to be key, but the key thing for me is something that Jose Maria has mentioned in the last part of the intervention, which is the different or the potential in changing the relationship that we have with the physical world. This is for me the key thing with the Internet of Things, because it's connecting the physical world. If you think, and this is for, I think it's interesting for everyone that is trying to enter into this space, is that the first thing that we need to look at is, my product is going to be connected, but connected for what? What kind of problem I'm solving? If you think of your favorite example, my favorite example is probably Uber, and Uber is a lot about efficiency, because if you share cars, is what the sharing economy is about, is efficiency. But the reason we are adopting things like Uber is not because of the efficiency, it's because of the convenience, and it's because of the peace of mind of knowing when the taxi is going to come, et cetera, et cetera. If you think in the Kindle, for example, which is a connected book, the key thing about the Kindle is not the data, it's the new experience that creates, which completely changes the way we relate with books. So the key thing for me with the Internet of Things, and of course we have all the question of the data, is the potential that has in opening new ways to interact with the physical world. And by the way, it will free us from the smartphone, which is a fantastic, fantastic magic piece of technology that we have today, but we've become slaves of the smartphone. And this will free us, will allow us to interact with the physical world in a different way.
I would like just to build up on this point, and is relating on how we see in the future, let's see in a house, and how would you have relation with different things in your home. You wake up, and then the first thing you do is that maybe you look at the phone, the mobile phone, and then you can check there what is the weather, or you can check there if the heating of your house is going up, and of course, you can check also if your electric vehicle is charging to the grid or is getting energy from the grid. Or you can check if your solar panels that you have on the roof, that this morning they were explaining to us that there's some technology we have, you are producing energy, generating energy, and storing. And also, you may have some information during the day in the phone that you may buy or sell energy that you have produced in your house at different prices. All these things that doesn't happen now, it may happen in the future, because you have like a home energy system control in your house, a device that connects all these things, and all this data, is processed and then gives you advice and gives you decisions that you may take in order to take some new behaviors. What is going to happen? We don't know, but all this technology is here now, and we have all this technology, but they are not put in place together. And one of the, I think, major things is not only like this hardware, how do they connect with the Internet of Things or the gateways to get information to somewhere, but also if it's useful for the customers. If they find this is useful, then they will pay for that, and then everybody, will develop new services. And I think that we are in this way, we are beginning to have some of this information. And for instance, one of the things that we want to do, I mean, this morning our president said that we have Endesa Energy Challenges. We want to open innovation with, entrepreneurs, with brilliant thinkers, developers, big data experts, yet just to begin this, work, I mean, to do it together, to develop new things, to explore ideas, to have it in place, to have prototypes, to failure, because maybe it doesn't work, some of the things that we launch to the market. And well, this is one of the things that we want to begin with.
Following on this, I would like to know maybe not all of you, but what's the role that you think entrepreneurs, knowing that we are in a startup conference also, opening the floor, and where do you think, I think the industry is on the one hand, are you happy about it or are you freaking out? Are they going to actually be the ones taking us out of the business? Or where should they be focusing? It's in the technologies, in the business models, it's in specific industries. I would like to hear from you, what are you looking for into the entrepreneurs, and where do you encourage them to actually go and try to launch and do the next big thing on IoT and a connected world?
If I can start, for me, the entrepreneur is a figure which is admirable. It's fantastic that there are people that are able to put a lot into creating something new, and that's the magic of the economy in which we live. But I think that they are fundamental because the economy is a complex system and it's in continuous renewal, and we need new ideas, and some of those ideas, probably very little number of ideas, are going to succeed, and many other will be removed by the market. But it's a key thing. For us, for Telefónica, they've been a source of inspiration, and they are a source of inspiration. Some of the things that we are doing, in particular in the most dark thing, which is the connectivity, technical thing, etc., some of the things that we are doing there comes from the many different conversations that we have with entrepreneurs that are looking for specific things. So for us, it's a fantastic opportunity to be in a place like here and to have the opportunity to collaborate with the people that is creating the economy.
I think there's a big opportunity in our case, for banks. Banks are very good designing services, and probably it's our role during many years, but when we came up to physical products, we are not experts on that industry. So for us, it's very interesting to connect real entrepreneurs that are very good designing products that combine both things about physical and digital, and opening up our platform and allowing them to use our data, our financial services, to interconnect with new physical devices. So I think banks have a huge opportunity of really open up the platform with it, and we are connecting some startups with physical products, the startups that are using data to generate new kind of interfaces with our customers. So I think we need to really understand that this world is about speed, and we cannot come up with that speed alone. So startups allows us to use this extra mile that we need to really come up with new big innovations on the sector.
For me, a couple of ideas. When we see the traditional enterprise relationship with their customers, this is what needs to be evolving. They need to create these links of loyalty to their customers. I come across many entrepreneurs, and I see too many of them, and maybe it's a particular case, focusing to the applications. The apps are it, most of it. And apps are it's not an easy world. It's a pretty tough world. I would like to encourage the entrepreneurships in the country to go farther to the physical world, to the device. With the device, you can get data, you can develop data models, and you can sell value to many customers. So that would be my message for the entrepreneurships. Go beyond the app into the device. I see a lack of that in Spain. I work a lot with Italy. The fabric of industry manufacturing coming from the country is impressive. Second largest manufacturer in Europe, just after Germany. So we don't realize how strong they are based on this development of hardware.
What about Banco Santander? You've been doing an amazing work this year. So how's the relationship with entrepreneurs?
We envision entrepreneurs as the people who is going to challenge the current financial system. So current financial system is a conservative one. People move No, because you have to guarantee to your customer what you are doing. And on the other side, you have young people with a lot of energy, with a lot of will, vision. They are creating new models, new ideas, new things. And we envision that the digital dimension, the fact that there is a phenomenon in society that is altering all the business models, that is the digital dimension, that is shortening the space, is going to change fundamentally the dynamic of the financial system. And we envision that the end of the game is what we call FinTech 2.0, where banks itself should be transformed into FinTech companies. So banks in the future will be less banks and less financial company and more technological company. We envision in this end game banks as FinTech 2.0 company connected to the evolution of the current FinTech companies, and a new network of FinTech 2.0 companies will provide the financial services in the future. This is what we envision now.
If you all agree, let's see what our audience, I don't know if any of you want to take the opportunity to launch a question to the leading corporations of 3 of the main industries of our country and the worldwide. So happy to, I don't know if they're over there, we don't have time for many, but hey, micros, voila. Ahí arriba. Sorry.
Sorry, I cut in the middle. This is, thanks for the panel. Question for my friend Norberto Mateos. He just mentioned that having a provocative question for the audience, right, Norberto, about technology and the need for your data to be secured, you know, the privacy. And I see the youngest generation, my kids at home, they have this honest behavior. Like, for instance, my daughter Mata, she wiped up from Facebook because she didn't feel secure about their privacy. So this is something that I would like to ask you, if you feel that this new generation is having the same concerns as we thought that for ourselves. I would never give up technology for my privacy. That's not what my kids think.
If I can, as you mentioned, I think there are two separate ideas here. One is security of the data, that is a critical model. Another one is privacy. In privacy, yes, there are people willing to stop their social presence because of the privacy, and there are others who just share everything. So I don't think it's going to be easy to say how this is going to work. But security is definitely one of the main issues that we all need to solve here, because it's about reputation, social reputation of our companies. There are so many things around it.
I don't know if anyone wants to. Paco?
Well, just to add that I think that in this discussion that we have about new business models, new ways to do things, et cetera, for me, privacy is one of the things that is at the stake. Most of what we've seen until today in development of the internet, et cetera, is based on a model which is fundamentally funded by advertising and by using the data, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that we have the challenge, and this is half desire, half something that I think that really will happen. We have the challenge to create new ways to do things, new business models that do not rely exclusively in playing with the privacy or with the data. We are going to be doing that in a different way. I think that this is part of the challenge that we have, clearly.
There in the back.
Muchas gracias. Since we have 2 bankers and a large telco, the question here is, will we see progression in the banking sector like we saw progression from the telcos? Long ago, the telcos had business models that were transaction-based, just like banks today. Now they are relational-based. Will we see this happening with banking as well? Thank you.
First.
we will see a lot of progression, because think that, I repeat this vision. So banks has been built around branches in the past. So branches were the place where customers find their branch manager or their commercial manager and make business, make services, everything. And this model, this branch-centric model, has developed during years and years thousands of processes that are being built on top of or using the branch as the center of the model. The digital revolution, the internet revolution, the channel revolution is changing this game dramatically because everybody can reach directly the customer immediately because the customer is connected with a mobile device and is using the mobile device all the time. So you can redefine completely all the process. But you are talking about thousands of processes that you have to change. And at the same time, you have to define new mobile-centric, customer-centric processes, changing fundamentally the business model. And this change is what is the combination of the evolution of banks and what fintechs are doing. And this is creating a whole set of new propositions that are immature because are brand new, but the change fundamentally will be the thousand of processes will be in the network. And you will redefine the role of the different nodes of the current network, where in the current network, the weight of the current network is very heavily based on the fact that banks have branches. In the long future, you will reduce the role of the branches and you will increase dramatically the role of new financial nodes. And this is what we call FinTech 2.0.
I think to add to that, the next battlefield in banking will be on OTP, like telcos. So probably transactions will be the infrastructure that will move money. But again, the battlefield will be about interface and experience. So there is where we are competing with newcomers, and probably banks have a huge opportunity to understand that they need to shift the focus, and where the value is not on the transactions that we have, but really on that relationship and building interfaces that really make the relationship different. And probably you can upsell new services on that new way of understanding the customer.
I think, Teodoro, you wanted to say something?
Using this opportunity, this question as an opportunity, I want to mention that the new paradigm of the Internet of Things should be on the way that the risk, the financial risk, and also the technical risk of the operation between the customer and the entrepreneur, the smart and medium enterprise that gives the services, the IoT services, must be supported by the SME, the financial risk and also the technical risk, because you can sell something innovative, new, without assuming a risk of that. That is the way I think, seeing the IoT opportunity as a service, seeing the new devices, the more connected world as a services, and working together with the banking system is the only way to develop a new ecosystem of SMEs.
We're running out of time. I'm sorry we couldn't go deeper into this conversation, but I think it's also a good step to actually have putting like energy companies together with banking and telcos, and I think is also the way and the time to actually collaborate and see where this is heading all of us and how you guys are going to react and get to that point of innovation. So thank you, Teodoro. Thank you, Maite, and the Endesa Energy Challenges. Thank you, José María, Norberto, Paul, Paco. Thank you very much.
Bueno, no está mal.
Hey, tonight, gonna be tonight. Don't you know I'm flying tonight? Tonight.
I love this setting. You see, when the big corporates talk, everyone is packed, everyone with suits, and here's the tech crowd now. So we're gonna get into the nitty-gritty details of tech. The next speaker is someone I'm very curious to listen to. He's been doing his startup since 2006. They've raised more than $200 million, and they're one of the leaders in their industry, if not the leader in their industry. Essentially, they're going to talk about revitalizing or changing the industry, and more specifically about taking or going against giants, the old school people and the giants that are already there. So I'm going to try my French and see how my French goes. So please give a big round of applause to Renaud Visage. There we go, CTO, co-founder of Eventbrite.
Hola, Madrid. It's been a while. I used to live here, actually, 20 years ago, and I had not been back since. So big thank you to the organizers for inviting me to speak here. And over the next 20 minutes, I'm going to talk about how industries are being completely revamped, transformed by the democratization process that started with the internet revolution. I think a lot of things that I'm going to talk about are well known, but I feel that the democratization process is accelerating and will create brand new companies, and I hope some of you in the room will be the ones leading these advances in technology. If you look at the tech headlines all around the world, probably 1 out of 2 startups that's getting launched is about democratizing something. So what does democratizing mean, actually? Let's go back to the definition. I actually learned that it came from a French word that started after the French Revolution in the late 18th century. And basically, it means making something accessible to everyone. What a basic concept, but a very powerful concept when put in the hands of capable people. Let's look at a couple of the hot, trendy startups of today. Uber, for example, probably the most valued private company in the world today with a $50 billion valuation. It didn't exist 6 years ago. What does it offer? It offers the ability for anyone to order transportation, but also it offers the ability to everyone to become a driver thanks to simple technologies like geolocation, your mobile phone, and mobile payments. So 3 key elements creating an offering that's completely changing the face of urban transportation today. Second most valuable private company out there today, Airbnb. What do? Very simple, capitalize on unused inventory that you had in your home and enabling everyone to become a hotelier, even if it's just for a few days here and there, and connecting these people with the people who need accommodations. Again, a very simple concept, but taken to an extreme level and a global level very quickly by talented teams. And then you have Eventbrite. Here is a picture of Jenny and Matt. They're the organizer of, I forgot, it's Wednesday. It's a supper table at their home every week on Wednesday. They invite 8 to 10 people. They prepare and serve them a 5-course dinner paired with excellent cocktails. And they give every attention to deep conversation and connections to the 10 participants. They started a couple of years ago, and now they're expanding the concept into other cities. And this is why we started Eventbrite in the first place. It's to enable these connections offline that we've been striving for. And enabling people like Jenny and Matt to transform their passion into a real business, a business that they enjoy, something that they like to do, and something that can transform their lives. We have thousands and thousands of examples like this since we started the company. We started the company to bring the world together through live experiences. Events like today are a great example of the need to gather with peers, with people interested in the same subject. And that's why we decided to start the company. And in the process, we've made event organizing available to everyone. So on our platform, you have very large organizers who sell millions of tickets every year, and also the tiny ones that the individuals, the Jenny and Matt, who didn't really know that they wanted to start an event business, but thanks to our platform, were able to do so. Let's go back to why we started Eventbrite and the lessons that we took from this experience. And I think those are very critical to creating the next democratization companies or business processes that will change the landscape in the future. The genesis for Eventbrite was a combination of three colossal shifts in the landscape, not just the tech landscape, but the way we live. In 2006, when we launched, three things came together at the exact right point for us. The first one was the need to connect in real life. That sounds contradictory with the trend at the time of everything going online. But as you can attest from being here today, and as studies have shown that, for example, millennials, the 18 to 35 age range, values the live experiences much more than things. 3/4 of them actually would rather go to an event, enjoy themselves, than buy a car or a house. The second trend was the emergence of peer-to-peer payments. PayPal was the leader at the time. And with just an email address, you were able to send money to someone. We thought we could use that to enable payments directly to the event organizers. Before us, they had to wait 7 days, a month after the event to get paid. With our solution, they could get the ticket sales directly into their PayPal account. This was groundbreaking for them at the time. And also the internet pushed the do-it-yourself generation. I think we all want to do things, to have control, to find ways to use our creativity to put things together. And the companies that best leverage this DIY spirit benefit tremendously from offering the tools, self-service tools that you can access anytime, that allow you to use your creativity, your ingenuity to come up with different business models, to different experiences online and offline. But it didn't stop there. We continuously look at the technological landscape. Facebook Connect came right on time 2 years after we launched to bring another layer of integration that we didn't have before, a new way to share that you were attending events and to enroll your friends and family to come with you to this event that you were going to attend. We were one of the first companies to integrate with Facebook Connect, and that had a tremendous impact on our business. Facebook, within a year or two, became the #1 source of traffic for us. And to this day, it's one of our major channels to acquire new attendees. And then the mobile phone came along. Now, everybody had something in their pocket that could be used to both organize events. That was the first application we did, giving you the ability to scan barcode tickets at the entrance. And also for you attendees that wanted to discover events, find new stuff to do, and have a place for your tickets instead of printing them out. All of this led to a tremendous growth, nothing like we anticipated. We couldn't really predict the future. We had a hunch that all these elements combined together could create a great platform and really transform the event industry. Before us, these technologies were only available for very large stadiums, for the big concerts, for the big event venues. We brought it to a different level and made it accessible to everyone. Last year alone, we had 1.7 million events on the platform. So arguably, now we've become one of the giants in the industry. And let me be clear, maybe I'll disappoint some of you, but we never set out to disrupt the giants. We envisioned that our space would be the long tail of events, the small and medium-sized event organizers that had no solution to power their events. We are starting to compete more and more with the larger companies out there, but it's never been our ambition to replace the leaders at the time of this phase. So what does it mean for us? We now have 500 employees across 8 different offices in 7 different countries. How do we keep the momentum going? How do we keep innovating? How do we stay ahead? That's a much bigger challenge than people might think. There's a lot of burden having technical debt, for example, systems that were written 10 years ago and that might not be up to speed, up to snuff anymore. We have a lot of users. We can just change things like that without notice or without making sure they're going to be happy with the new stuff we bring. So how do we keep that momentum going and innovation internally? I think these are valuable things to learn as you yourselves are working in big corporations that are trying to be more innovative, or startups that are starting to get a lot of traction and need to keep the momentum going. So our best investment was probably in 2008 when we decided to launch our first API. Over the next few years, we built that API to become a fully functional platform. And in doing so, we enable ourselves to be positioned in the center of the nervous system for the event organizer. We are their most critical data. We are the information about their attendees. And by building those APIs and connecting with all these different partners out there, we were able to expand the types of services we can offer to our users. These are a few of the things that we never developed ourselves. They were brought on by our partners, integrating with our APIs, and now we can offer all these different services that were not available and we had no intentions of building. It's, as you can attest, if you've ever organized an event, it's not a simple matter. You have production, you need to manage the attendance, the location, the venue, the caterer, sell tickets, promote online, offline. There's a multitude of things that event organizers have to deal with. And by being this central point where everything is connected, we are so much more valuable to our organizers. And one thing we do very well is to question ourselves all the time, maybe a bit to an extreme. We try to plan for a full year, but oftentimes we change course in the middle just because the technology is changing so fast. People's expectations are changing so fast. We try to remain as agile as we can with both our plans and with our execution. And this is a very hard thing to do when you have 500 people on board, all contributing to a goal. Redefining the goal every few months requires a lot of communication internally, externally, to get everybody on board and convinced that it's the right thing to do. We also created a welcoming environment for any ideas. I know you all probably want that for your own companies. You probably try to establish programs to foster innovation in-house. And we've tried to do it in a way that makes it the responsibility of everyone in the company, not just R&D. People who are in contact with the users should have some input into what we build for them. People who go in the field every day to check people at the door, for example, or install complex systems to track registrations. How do you collect all this information, all this collective knowledge, collective creativity that is within your employees, and leverage that into product features that you can launch? That's not easy to put in place, and we've experimented a lot with that. The best ideas often end up being tested in a hackathon where we deploy very quickly a mock-up of what it could look like, and we take it to the next level and have our users test it. This is our design team, for example, watching live as customers are interacting with mock-ups that we've produced for a new feature. They're learning a lot by just looking at how people interact with the product, with the things. Is it clear? Does it make sense? Is it something they want? All these questions you have to ask before you even start creating the actual feature. And finally, this is a more recent development, but over the last 2 or 3 years, we've really pushed the experimentation angle. I know it's common for startups. The lean startup model pushes that to the greatest extent, and I think this is going to be the way any business should be run from now on. Larger corporations, mid-sized corporations like ours, and small startups need to test things before they're fully built out. The investment that developing features involves is so large nowadays, especially with the multiplicity of platforms that you have at our disposal, that you need that experimentation platform to be very fine-tuned to allow you to really test the interest that your development might have for your current user base before you roll it out. I think the main lesson, and something I think everyone should try once in a while, is to go back to your inner child. Forget all you know about the industry. Start from a blank slate and look around, like see what's available to you today. How can you combine all these different hot topics that are emerging that you know will have a significant impact on your business or the business you would like to be in? And try to think of creative ways to make the impossible possible, like this kid flying. The danger is everywhere. If you're not going to get disrupted by someone soon, it's only a matter of time. And if you don't take it upon yourself to come up with your vision for your future, someone else will, and that will be too late for you. Thank you. Can you put it back? Sorry. Oh, thanks.
Okay, guys, come on! More energy here. Woohoo! Okay, let's really try this again. Okay, I know it's late, but we can do this. Third time is a charm. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! There we go. Actually, I'm gonna try this one more time because you guys are not there. Can everyone please stand up? Hey, there we go. There we go. Come on, stand up. No problem with this. Everyone's up? Okay, ready? Shh. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! There we go. Thank you very much, guys. So we're entering the second final block of today for the startups. So we're going to talk about healthcare and biotech. Some very, very interesting startups are going to be on stage, so I hope you enjoy them. And I'm going to ask Raul Martin to come on stage. He's going to be the one presenting each of the 4 startups you're going to check now. He's a principal at Isios Capital, and among other things, he's a board member at Stat Diagnostica. So please, a round of applause and enjoy the startups, guys.
Sí. How are you? ¿Funciona? ¿Suena? Debería. So it's working? Okay, okay now. Okay, so good evening to everybody. Happy to be here with you all. I hope you're enjoying the event and you will enjoy also this session, the healthcare and biotech session that I will be presenting. So we have 4 finalists today. Just for them to know, even though I guess they know, but the dynamics will be as follows. So there will be a short pitch of 3 minutes, and I will try to be strict with the time. And then we will have around 1 minute more for questions from the jury that are sitting over there. So please try to stick to the time. Then let's get started. So let's welcome the first finalist. The company is called Asana Weartech, and it will be Carlos Sanchez Mendoza presenting. So Carlos, please, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, South Summit. I'm so happy to be here with you today in this lovely city of Madrid. My name is Carlos. I am the CEO of Asana Weartech, which is a very young company with a very novel concept of wearable 3D posture monitors and trainers. Lots of people would like to improve their posture. Some people go to yoga or Pilates to get better postural habits, and some even go to physiotherapy. But when nobody watches, the body naturally wants to go back to what it feels naturally for some reason as a proper posture. And nobody is more compelled to keep good posture than patients with scoliosis. Bad posture sustained over years in these patients can worsen their condition, and that's why we use braces. Braces work by making natural posture painful, 23 hours a day for 2 or 3 years. Isn't this a little too drastic? You have technology in your pockets that is capable of knowing its own posture, vertical versus horizontal. We have scaled up this technology, and we have developed artificial intelligence that is capable of evaluating posture in real time. We have a wearable device that can give the patient feedback in real time and remind them to keep posture around the clock. Initially, we will penetrate this very specific market through an established distributor, and we will make the bulk of our revenue from a software as a service model. The monthly subscription fee will give access to parents and physiotherapists to compliance tracking information, and for the patient, complying will be a game through a gamified platform. The venture is steered by a top-class international business board, and we have with us key opinion leaders in the scoliosis domain. We're looking for talent today, talented engineers with expertise in electronics, software and firmware engineering, and machine learning. It's a huge market, €3 billion market, only in scoliosis. But we also, in our overarching vision, want to help everybody that wants to keep good posture. Once we have a wearable device that is affordable and can reconstruct the surface of the body in 3D in real time and portably, we will open a platform for other developers. In the time of big data, sensing technology is what makes the difference. In Asana Weartech, we're determined to open the gates to ubiquitous capture of human movement, and the unprecedented insights that may be derived from this long-forsaken piece of the quantified self. We're Sana Wertek. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. Any question from the members of the jury?
Hello? Yeah. Here. User engagement in this kind of products, one of the most difficult things is to make people using and keeping using the product. How do you engage the users? How do you engage the customers?
I need you to repeat the question, please.
How do you engage your users, your customers, to keep using the product?
So we haven't developed that part of the product yet. We think the most important part is to have information. If you have information, for example, from a digital balance, from a scale, that will already help you get better in keeping your weight down. We think that the technological challenge is to have posture recorded ambulatorily, and then gamification is a well-developed field that we will just borrow from in the future once we develop the platform.
Just ask another question. So the product is not completely developed. What is done? What has to be done? Of the product, what has been done already, and what has to be done?
So the main competition in the scoliosis domain are flexible braces, who follow the same principle using straps and buckles. In the consumer market, there's a Brouch that beeps when you slouch. It has a lot of imprecisions because it's not measuring deformations. When you only have one sensor, you're only measuring where the body is facing. We want to propose many sensors and the readings combined to have a very accurate, more expensive solution for people who have a real problem.
Thank you very much. Well,
Thank you.
unfortunately, we don't have more time. Okay, so let's move to Exobyte, that will be presented by Lucas Pedrajas. Exobyte is developing a medical device to improve the healing processes to people with broken bones and muscle injuries. Lucas, please.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lucas Pedrajas. I'm the Chief Research Officer of Exobyte. At Exobyte, we're working to improve the quality of life of the patients, and also we save money and time for everyone involved. This is the annual number of workdays lost due to broken bones only in the US. But why is that so many workdays are lost? When you break a bone, you're incapacitated for an average of 10 weeks. This is because the current treatment involves 2 linear steps. First, an immobilization phase using a cast or a splint during 5 weeks, and after the cast is removed, a rehabilitation phase that involves physical therapy and exercises, adding up to a total of 10 weeks of disability. Using our technology, we can overlap both of them, allowing for a massive cost savings and a faster recovery. But how does it work? Well, after a broken bone is diagnosed, a 3D scanner takes a 3D model of the limb. Then, automatically, a 3D splint in the computer is created. Using our patent-pending unique 3D printing technology, we print it in less than 5 minutes. An electrostimulation device that is controlled by an app on the patient's smartphone is used combined with the splint. This device is capable to perform the rehabilitation and measure the muscle mass index, all without ever removing the splint. Instead of an average of 10 weeks, we achieved the recovery in less than 7 weeks. Yes, we have competitors, but I'm not talking about them today. This is using our technology in the United States, the insurance companies could save $3 billion each year. And in rehabilitation cost would be reduced by $2.2 billion each year. Our customers are hospitals and rehabilitation centers where we install our system ready to use, and our revenues comes from each day of rehabilitation and each cast printed. Our amazing team includes Marcelo, business developer, Juan Monzón, our CEO, Javier Muñoz, software developer, Dr. Abel Gago, traumatologist, and me. Some awards, including being selected by Microsoft Ventures in Tel Aviv, and some partners that are actively working with us to bring our technology to market. More than 100 of hospitals are around the world interested in our system, and most recently, we just started medical trials in one of the biggest hospitals here in Spain. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lucas. Any questions from the jury?
Hello. You need any kind of certification to use this 3D printing in a hospital? So this is considered a medical device, or you need any kind of certification to use this?
This machine, yes, it will be working in the hospital. It must be certificated by the FDA. One of the next movements is to seek FDA approval, but next year. And yes, that.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. My name is Mar. I work in Silicon Valley. As you mentioned before, there are a lot of competitors in this space. It's actually very crowded. So what makes your product different to others?
Yes, others make 3D splints and electrostimulation devices, but we put it together so we can reduce the time, because you have to wait until you remove the splint to perform the rehabilitation. And this splint with holes in the structure, we can actuate to the muscle without removing it. So, and we, according with the splint, we make it in less than 5 minutes, because we invented a new technology to do that.
Yeah. Just one last question. In this adoption, because this involves a change in the behavior of the traumatologists, what is the major difficulty you are facing in the adoption from the hospital?
The difficulty is the approvals. All the bureaucracy that we have to pass through to put our system in the hospitals. Yes, we have to make the medical trials, we have to do all the stuff to that.
Okay, thank you. So we have to move to the next one. Thank you very much, Lucas. So the next one is S-Biomedic. It will be presented by Veronica Oudova. This is a company that is developing a product to modify the skin microbiome, and it's intended to treat acne and other dermatological conditions. Veronica?
Hi. Let me start with a question. Did you know that 85% of all of us have experienced acne? If you are one of them, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is we are definitely too late for you. The good news is we are going to help your kids. What is actually acne? There live billions of bacteria on our skin. The majority are good and they protect us. However, if they get out of balance, then we get skin problems. And one of them is acne. It's an infectious disease without a quick and safe treatment. And we have a solution. We have developed a method of skin microbiome transplantation. We select beneficial bacteria, we mix them in a special formulation, and we apply them on the skin. Our technology is based on extremely successful treatment of facial transplantation. Our first product is non-prescription cosmetics. It's 100% natural. It reduces acne treatment from years to weeks, and it has a long-lasting effect. The market for acne is huge. There is about 50 million people in the world who spend 3.3 billion on acne treatments. When we launch our product in Europe, we are looking at a market of 1 billion. Growth for us doesn't mean only to sell more acne products. With our technology, we can target many different skin problems: eczema, rosacea, aging. Additionally, we would like to validate some of our cosmetics into medical therapies. We are, of course, not alone in the market. There is all the traditional treatments for acne that usually work, but also have severe side effects. On the other side, there is all the cleaning products that are not as harsh, but at the same time without much proven efficacy. We think we have the real solution of a safe and effective treatment. To access the market, we are looking at a combination of outsourcing and product licensing. We would like our industrial partner to help us develop our product, produce, and commercialize. At the moment, we have completed the prototype. We are working on optimization of the formulation that should be tested on efficacy and safety. And in about 1 year, we should launch our first product. To our traction, we have a patent pending in the United States. We have done a safety toxicology study with Intertek. We have a letter of interest from Johnson & Johnson, and we are part of innovation program of Beiersdorf. My name is Veronica. I'm an economist. I'm responsible for the business development. And I have 2 more scientists, Bernie, who knows how to turn bacteria into drugs, and Mark, who has just completed his postdoc at Harvard, and he is the brain of our technology. Additionally, we are supported by a strong advisory team. To develop our product, to commercialize it, and to test it, we are looking for an industrial partner and about 500,000 euros. With your help, we make sure there is no more acne for your kids. Thank you.
Thank you, Veronica. Only one question from the jury this time, please. We're running a little bit out of time.
Hi, Veronica. My name is Mar. Thank you for your presentation. I understand that your technology is fascinating, but as an investor, help us and help me understand how big could your exit be. So do you have an exit strategy in mind, and how big could be? Thank you.
Definitely. So the cooperation with the industrial partner, we are actually already, as mentioned, we are talking to Johnson & Johnson, we are talking to Beiersdorf, we are talking to Galderma, we are talking to many of them. We hope that this cooperation, early cooperation with the industrial partner would lead us to possible acquisition. That would be one of our ideal exits. But additionally, we can also imagine that as we have a kind of technology platform, we can just license out the first product and keep developing additional products. That would be an additional option.
Okay, thank you, Veronica. Okay, so the last finalist, it's a company called Thermohuman, and it will be presented by Ismael Fernandez. Thermohuman is developing a computer solution to prevent injuries in professional high-performance sports. So, Ismael, please, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you doing? I guess a little bit tired after the whole day. My name is Ismael, and I have a question for you. It's very easy. Just focus on the question. Do you like football? Yes. Okay. Now, please imagine this is your favorite team. And now, please take out 2 players. Instead of playing with 11, you play with 9. Okay? Cristiano out, Messi out. You could think it's a mistake, it's a nightmare. It's more than that. It's reality. 16% of football players from Spanish teams are unavailable during the whole season because of injuries. Injuries, despite the progress of technology, are still a big problem. It's not just a question of performance. It's also an economic and a health matter. The solution that we are presenting today is based in a technology called infrared thermography. And it could help us to improve prevention and provide a faster recovery in case. So the question now, okay, the issues with technology. What is infrared thermography? Very easy. It's a camera that allows us to measure skin temperature. Fast, cheap, and non-invasive. The second question is, okay, what is ThermoHuman? ThermoHuman is the name of our company and the software that we have developed in order to analyze those images to detect automatically areas of the body with injury risk and give us objective information to take decisions. But that is just theory. Let's see some results. We have been working with one team from the first division in Spain during 2 pre-seasons. In the first pre-season, we just note the injury incidents. And in the second one, what we did is to use this technology. The results, amazing. 90% reduction of injuries. The business model is based in 3 main lines. First of all, training, a unique and specific training on the application of this technology on humans. The second one is the software that I have described. And the third one is the services, because we are also providing services to teams, athletes, institutions, and everything is based on research and development. Just take a look of the markets. We identified 3 main sectors: health, sport, and research. And just to bring some figures, focusing on sports, focusing just on 3 sports, just in Europe, we identified more than 2,000 professional teams. So the potential of this technology is huge. And we are not talking just about figures. We talk also about experience. In the last years, we have been working with several institutions and teams, like, for example, the successful basketball Spanish team in the last Eurobasket. So our team, multidisciplinary, from sports to business development through research or engineer. And milestones, some of them in the last 7 years, 5 awards, 23 Impact Factors articles, and more than 25,000 athletes. Why are we here? We are looking for smart money. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ismael. We have time for one question, please. If any.
Yes, hello. How scalable is your business model?
Sorry?
So how scalable is your business model? So it means you describe 3 areas where
Yes.
where your service or where your software is focused on. So I think that you're earning money from 3 of them, but these areas are quite intensive in people.
Exactly.
How scalable and how is your business model? How works?
During the last years, we were focused on training and services, but as you mentioned, are quite demanding in terms of resources. That's why we developed this software in order to offer the possibility to analyze and to use this technology, not just in Spain or some cases, but in a bigger scale. That's the idea, to increase the business through the software. And another milestone in midterm would be to develop a hardware as well, in order to provide also the camera. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ismael. And thank you, everybody. We finish the session with this last presentation. Thank you.
much, guys. So we're getting at the end of our session today. The next talk is going to be very, very interesting, and we're going to do something different. I'm going to introduce you a talk that's about emerging channels. It's about something called the new rules of distribution and how to engage with new audiences. This comes from someone that's currently living in New York City, someone that's a superstar on the internet. He started his career supposedly as a filmmaker. He won an award in 2012, and then he said, you know what, fuck filmmaking. I'm going to start using new channels to do things. He has 1.3 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. His videos have been watched by over 260 million people. Let me repeat that, 260 million people. And before you give him an applause, I want to invite him because there's a bunch of things that I want you to clarify. Casey, please come on stage. It's a pleasure having you here. So I heard that your last name is really hard to pronounce. So someone told me that you explained at some point how you said it. So let me see if it's correct. So it's like, nice dad.
No,
nice guy.
It's like this. Like, see these tats here? These are really nice tats.
Nice tats.
Nice tat.
No nice tits.
Not yet.
Okay, good to know. I was just wondering if you can turn my phone pink.
Yeah, I'm going to need a little spray paint.
Casey, the floor is yours. Guys, enjoy. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Typically when I do these talks, I focus really heavily on my career as a filmmaker. But given this forum, I saw it as a great opportunity to focus more on my career as an entrepreneur and my career as a technologist. But I thought a good introduction to that would be showing a movie that I think gives really good context to what I'm trying to do and what my ambitions are in and with technology. So I'm going to show you guys a movie. It's also a really good movie, so no matter how much I suck as a speaker, you'll just remember this movie and you'll be like, that guy was great. So let's play that movie. Definitely make this flight, but we're cutting it close. So far the trip is off to a fairly irresponsible start. And so it begins. We got to Paris, 17 degrees outside. The airport,
Yeah, welcome to Cairo.
All in all, very successful. We visited Tahrir Square. We rode horses. Max almost fell off his.
Now commence our descent.
We're in Johannesburg, South Africa right now. Just got to Zambia. Stuck in Nairobi. We're at the Vatican right now. We're leaving Rome, renting a car. The trouble is all of the street signs are written in squiggly lines. Back in Doha. Our flight board's 2 minutes ago. We're in Bangkok. We have a terrible taxi driver. Thank you. Hey, Swanee. What's up? We forgot to eat today and I've got the shakes real bad. This is the gnarliest airplane food I've ever seen. Look at this wiener.
Want me to take your picture?
Not like this. So that video for me was like, you know, like a call to go for it in life and to like reach for it and just like chase after it, get after it. It was something I really believe in. So rewind all the way back to the beginning of my career. I had a very like kind of shitty upbringing, and I was very, very poor when I was a teenager, and no one listened to me. So I started making movies. And it was via my movies that people started paying attention to me. And it was via making movies that really changed my relationship with the whole world around me. And to examine that a little bit more, it was this idea of sharing my ideas like that, sharing my ideas, that video, not me up there, my ideas and my perspective via movies that enabled me to feel like I had a voice. So with that, there was this sort of problem that I identified early in my career, which is that I have something that's unique to me, which is my filmmaking ability. I have the opportunity to make movies like that, to share ideas. And the problem is, why should the idea of expression via video be limited to people who are skilled, trained filmmakers, practiced filmmakers like myself? What about people who don't have a creative expression? Is there a means for them to share their perspectives and their ideas without the burden of creation? And that was something that really existed in my head for a long time. And in late 2013, I was invited to MIT, to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And it was a joint program between the Sundance Institute, the Rockefeller Foundation, and MIT. And they invited me there to do a semester working out of the Media Lab. And I learned something there that seems kind of naive and will sound naive to all of the technologists in this room. But what I learned while I was at MIT is that with technology, anything is possible. With technology, you can tackle any problem. That's what this entire conference is about. And with that, I started rethinking about that problem that I identified. Is there a way to separate sharing from creation? Is there a way to enable people to share without forcing them to first create something? And that problem was the motivation for me starting Beam, for starting my technology company. It started with the sole ambition of tackling that problem, of seeing, is there a way to enable people to just share without having this burden of creation? And, you know, in addition to YouTube, in addition to my short films, I'm a really huge fan of social media. I love Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook. I love sharing across all platforms. But even if you examine the most simple means of sharing, something like Instagram, there is still a significant burden to sharing, a significant burden to creation on a platform like that. I know that like when I take a picture, whether it's a selfie or a sunset or whatever the hell I'm sharing on Instagram, I look at it and I ask myself, is this good enough to share? Like, is this share worthy? Will this get enough likes? Will this make me look cool? Like, how will this reflect on me as a person? I'm the same way with Facebook. I'm the same way with Snapchat. If you go through all of my profile pictures on Facebook, you'll see a guy that is much cooler looking and much better looking than I am in real life. And I think that's true. That's true for how we use social media. We've largely used social media with sharing how we want the world to see us. And what we created, what we try to create, what we are creating, what we're sharing every day, is not another tool for sharing how the world sees us, but a tool for sharing how I see the world. And what that means is remove the opportunity for reviewal. Remove the opportunity for scrutiny. Don't have commenting. Don't have a little heart that you get that adds up to quantify whether it's something that's good or something that's bad. Just make it purely about sharing. I like to think of Beam, my video sharing platform, it's closer to a telephone call than it is writing a book. So it's less about the qualitative aspects of how you're sharing it, and it's purely about the content of what you're sharing. So I made this little video, and this video that we're going to play right now, it's 3 minutes long, and it explains what Beam, what my technology company is, and how it works. This was actually a video that I made for Apple Computer. They're just called Apple now. A movie I made for Apple because we were having some trouble getting our app approved by Apple, so I made this video, and then they just approved it, so I just put this video on YouTube. But this video articulates what the app does, how the platform works. So I'm going to show it to you and then talk about it for a second. Play video 2, please. What do you guys think? If we don't have it, it's fine. Do we have it? No? Nothing. Okay, I'm just going to explain it to you. No video. Okay, how every video sharing platform works, everyone that lives on your phone, everyone in existence, is it starts like this. You start like this, and you're looking at this, you're looking at this. And what this is you're seeing a preview of what you're capturing. So immediately you stop paying attention to the world around you, and you start paying attention to how you're capturing it. And then the moment after you've captured it, the moment after you've recorded something, you're faced with what you just recorded. You're forced to sort of scrutinize that. You're forced to ask yourself, is this good enough to share? Will people think this is cool? Will people think this is cool? And then it's like, no, this isn't cool enough to share. I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to make a duck face like this. Because then I look better. And it's that I wanted to get away from. So how do you possibly use technology? How do you use the technology that's in all of our pockets to share video, to share the most dynamic, the most rich of all mediums, to share what you're experiencing, to share what you're seeing? And this is how Beam works. So this is the app right here. It's open now on my phone. And when I see something I want to share, like all of your pretty faces out there, I just hold it against my chest like this. And that noise means it's capturing whatever's in front of me. It's capturing all of you right now. And then when I hear the second noise, that means it's been shared. And I can put it back in my pocket. And now everyone that follows me, which is like kind of a lot, I feel like, do you guys remember Tom from MySpace? Like the guy that you had to follow when you started? I'm like that guy. But that video has now been shared to everyone that follows me. And what your relationship ends up manifesting as with Beam, unlike other social products out there, is that cognitive load, that amount of thinking that goes into, do I want to share this or do I not want to share this, gets dramatically reduced because there's a whole lot less consideration. Instead, that cognitive load, that decision point becomes singular, which is like, do I or do I not want to share this? And if the answer is yes, I just share it. I capture it, and then it's shared. And I don't have to review it. I don't have to ask if it's good enough. And where it gets really interesting is what you end up with in aggregate. So when you have millions and millions of pieces of video, of clips of video being shared across this platform around the world, what do you end up with? Well, it's a lot less of like a bunch of people making duck faces and silly faces into it and going like this. And it's a lot more of seeing what people are seeing. This action here is, what I'm doing is I'm covering the proximity sensor. So I can do it with my thumb if I want. I can do it with my chin. I can lean it up against something like this, and it'll capture whatever's in front of it. But what it always does is it keeps your eyes on what's happening in front of you. So you just trust that it's capturing what you're truly experiencing. Now, in our office at Beam headquarters in New York City, we have this huge television, and it's a live feed of everything that's being shared on the platform in real time, along with the location. And you're looking at it, and you're seeing like what looks like very similar stuff. People from all over the world sharing their perspectives in this this realization happens, which is like, and this sounds a little silly, a little naive to say, but it's like, we all sort of live the same. We all sort of do the same things. We all function on a similar plane. And then seeing that in Moscow at the same time as seeing that in somewhere in the United States, and then seeing that somewhere in Europe, seeing that all over, it really changes your perception on the world. And our manifesto, our mission statement at Beam, is to promote empathy by sharing perspective. That is, if we can see how other people see this world, how other people interact with this world, if we can see other people's perspectives on this world, it might affect the way that we think. It might affect the way that we are. And that's the ambition of Beam. So currently with Beam, how it works is when whoever is working the lights should get a raise, and whoever's working the video should get fired. When you're currently on Beam, and this is how we launch, we knew that this thing, we knew that capturing without reviewing, without previewing, was something that was pivotal, was something that was really changed the way people create. But we weren't sure about how people would watch it. And the consumption, or the way that you watch on Beam right now, is fairly typical. But we're getting very close to launching something I'm going to talk to you guys about for the first time, even though my partner was like, maybe don't talk about it in Spain, but I think you guys are a good audience for it. And what it literally is it's the world. You're looking at sort of a map, and you're seeing people's perspectives. And these don't have to be people that you're following. This is just the whole world. This is everyone who's on Beam that's sharing. It's just like that TV in our office. And you're watching, and you're seeing these little clips of people's perspectives, and you're seeing some dope on a stage in Spain talking to a big audience, and then you switch, and you see some kids in the back of a school bus in the Midwest, then you switch, and you see somebody in Paris. And as you're switching, you're seeing the world come back up, and you're seeing this dot, this perspective that you're consuming. You're seeing it change, its geography change. And the impact that that has on you, the relationship that you then have with this content, becomes something that I find incredibly elusive in the social space. And what that is, the only way I could describe that is it feels authentic, or it feels real. It feels like you are experiencing something that is true to the creator. Snapchat, which is one of my favorite social media platforms, and I absolutely love it. But Snapchat is exactly about the act of creation. It's about creating something, making something, a little creation that you're sharing. It's about puking rainbows. It's about funny faces. It's about drawing on the screen. That puking rainbows thing, by the way, was fucking amazing. I loved it. But what it wasn't about is about true perspective. And I think that there's really something special in true perspective. I think it's something elusive. I think it's something raw. I think it's something new. And I think it's something that's going to take some getting used to. I think it's something that we have never been exposed to in a way that's actually consumable. You look at live sharing platforms, which I think can be really instrumental in the dissemination of information, really instrumental when you think about a crisis taking place around the world, and you tune into a Periscope to see exactly what's happening there. That's major. But what live streaming doesn't address is this struggle for interestingness, meaning that live, by definition, is fucking boring. if you want to make live interesting, it requires you to be seeing something really interesting, whether that's a boxing match or something that's more of a crisis situation, something that's newsworthy is then interesting. But what about these little moments that we experience all the time in life? Is there a way to package those and address that burden of interestingness? And these are all of the ambitions, these are all of the goals, these are all of the problems that we're setting out to tackle with Beam. And all of that comes back to where I started this talk, which is how sharing perspectives and how sharing ideas has affected my life and affected who I am. And the profundity that is that impact of being one person, but having a voice and having that voice be heard by many, many people. Okay, that's it. My time is up. Now, before I end, I just wanted to say one thing, because I've gotten more shit in the hallway here than I've gotten in a long time about the fact that Beam's not an Android yet. We're almost there. In fact, like, I ran into somebody here named Nacho. Nacho, are you in this room right now? Who's on our Android beta. So, like, it's out there. It's happening. But we're very, very excited about pushing on to Android. It's something we're deliberately holding back. Not to be dicks, but just because Beam is evolving every day and we want the very best version to launch on Android. So if anything, know that we're using iOS users as our guinea pigs, and you precious Android users will reap the benefits of that. But guys, thank you so much. I'll see you on Beam. This was great.
Lord, amazing, feel my temperature rising. Higher, higher, burning through to my soul. Girl, girl, girl.
Okay, people, you can take your places. I know that it was exciting. So many fans. So many young fans, actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we're up for the final talk. Please, guys, take your seat. Or you can actually come here and talk with me. So we have our final talk, kind of a continuation of what we've been seeing. And the big question that we want to close today with is, will your life be run by videos in the next 5 years? Are we going to be doing videos in absolutely every aspect of our life? And I think there's many answers to that. So I want to first welcome someone that has an extensive background in communications. He's someone, probably one of the pioneers of communications in this country. Serial entrepreneur with many companies, one of the probably best well-known communication agencies in Spain called Comunica A. And I want to welcome Jaime Antoñanzas on stage and the team from El Play, Carlos Rodriguez, Carlos Rico, and Andy Stallman. Please, guys, applause.
Well, thank you very much to all of you. It's a pleasure to be here. So we've been, as an agency, more than 4 years, coming with Spain Startup and the South Summit, trying to help them to set up the event. But today we are here for a very different thing. So we are going to share with you some ideas of the video industry today. And we are going to make a round table with Carlos, Andy, and Carlos. I'm going to introduce them. Carlos Rodriguez, better known as Ocelote, that it's in the world of the video games, who has been a professional gamer for 9 years. Now he's the owner of a sports club, and probably we are going to talk now about that. He's becoming a reference in the video game industry. We also have Andy Stallman. Andy is one of the best specialists in branding from Spain and Latin America. He has talent and charisma. He's very known in many countries. He's been working in more than 25 countries in many projects. And he's very known as Mr. Branding. He's one of the most specialists in branding in the world. And also we have Carlos Rico, that is a reference in marketing and communication in different sectors. But today, Carlos, as a part of the company, he's gonna explain some ideas of a project that we are launching today that is called El Play. Before the roundtable, we're gonna share with you some ideas of the video industry that most of you probably you already know. But I think that it's important to make a little point on this. Video is more than 64% of the web traffic in 2014. So more than 50%, it's more than 64% of the web traffic in 2014. Facebook is driving growth in video with more than 4 billion views per day. So it's an incredible number. Video is getting smaller every day, is getting vertical. More than 50% of the videos that it's sharing every day on the website is sharing on mobile, and it's vertical and mobile. And the amount of people, of time that are spending every day seeing videos online, they are increasing 20% every year. So it's 23% in 2015, and probably more than 20% of growth in the next year. So we're going to start the round table. I'm going to introduce some questions. Carlos, let us know how the video has impact on your professional life, because you've been a gamer, and now how is the video running in your life?
So you can imagine that playing for 9 years straight video games, the part of the media, the most important part of the media is by far the video. The way you portray yourself, the way you portray your company or your club in this scenario. Video is the most important thing right there, because it's how you earn fans. depending on how good your video quality is or the production of the video that company creates is, usually tells more than you think about what the company is from inside out. And I experienced it, you know, and it is very obvious that video is by far the most important thing in, at least in my industry, you know, and it's only getting bigger and bigger and more important as the time goes by.
How is important in your industry? So not only for you, but in the industry, and how do you think it's going to be in the future?
It's an industry that is, of course, growing, which is the video game industry and the tournaments around the video game industry. So you can imagine that when you go to any event or anything, the most important thing of the event, if you have not went to that event, is actually the highlight videos of the event. And you know, all the clubs, all the teams, all the stars, you know, how they did in that event, the video production behind it. So it's extremely important. And every day I can feel more and more that if you don't have a very good video team behind the scenes that takes care of very high quality stuff, the way you will portray yourself to the outside is going to be simply not good enough, you know. And usually nowadays you see a lot of companies, you know, not only in my industry, but you know, in every industry, that they're like very traditional, you know, and their video content is really not that good. And usually, like nowadays, we are not silly, you know, we are not dumb. We actually know what's cool and what's not. And when a very traditional company doesn't really know how to make a video, how to make, you know, some cool media stuff, then you already, you know, you're thinking of them like if they were very old dinosaurs, you know. You gotta adapt yourself to the new era, to the new age. And video is the cornerstone of this age, by far.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. Andy, so, before starting with the questions, I remember we were talking before. I remember 1 year ago that we were trying to help a big company in Spain to change the visual identity of the company, the logo. And we were presenting, it was by the end of 2014, we were presenting an idea. There was a logo that was moving. It was a logo that it was going to be supported by video. And we were trying to explain them to the board that many of the logos that we are going to see in the future is going to be they are going to be seen in supported by video, perhaps on the tablet or perhaps on the TV. Andy, can you tell us how important is the video on the brand identity? How do you see the future?
Hola a todos. Hello, everyone. I think the answer is quite obvious. Video is everywhere. You only need to see around to see that everyone and everything is on video. I am on video, you are on video, he's on video. We are currently sharing most of our life, activities, work, jobs, ideas, startups on video. So video, as Carlos was saying, is part of the very strategic cornerstone of the new communication. People is information rich and time poor, and reading is becoming outdated and out-fashioned, unfortunately. So people have time to see videos, to watch videos, and above all, to share them. The big question for brands is, how are these brand companies integrating new media into old media? And almost above this, how are they understanding that new media, it's more about now media? Video, it's about sharing on real time what's going on, what's happening, and even more what is going to happen. So for brands in the 21st century, not using video, it's about shooting in their own feed.
What do you think that's going to happen on the internet? So do you really think that the brands that probably they have a more static advertising, or do you think they are going to be changing to the video in every kind of support? So we are going to see in the future any kind of advertising, any kind of communication, even if it's for selling or for the branding. Do you think that we are going to be in the future, all around us is going to be videos?
We are building the screen society, and I think video is going to be everywhere in the devices we know right now, and many other devices, even the human body that we don't know how, but they will be projecting content. The big question for brands is, Do they know who they are? And do they have a clear idea of their strategy and positioning to communicate high-value content? Because, as we're saying, we are information-rich and time-poor. If your content do not seduce me or attract me, I will not see it. So we are evolving from content that was built on the idea of a megaphone or of a microphone, and now good content is becoming the idea of magnet. I am not looking for people to see my content. My content is so good that people is coming to see it and consume it and share it. So I think that video, it's about to close the circle of the end of this change of era to assume that we are in an era of change.
Thank you, Andy. So, Carlos, I'm going to use a very known sentence in Spain. Vamos aquí a hablar de nuestro libro. So, Carlos, can you introduce us, what is ElPlay?
Okay, buenas tardes a todos. Good evening, everyone. Before to go into detail, in the past few months within the company, we were thinking how to approach the video reality. We are truly believers that video is the future, and we have been having several approaches till we get into the approach that we finally got with ElPlay. Before that we decide to go in this direction, we have been doing several researches. We have been looking at the society, what they do, and we have been interviewing and talking with kids between 13 and 18 years old. And we realized that they hardly use the devices with text. They are sending each other videos. They are presenting to each other in video. They are using video in every single part of their life. So we thought if these guys, they are already using this, they are going to be the clients in the future. But in any case, I think that I'm going to introduce better what the play is in a video. So please, can we play the video?
Welcome to ElPlay, the first and only platform of audiovisual talent created by the Comunica Masai Group, where industry entrepreneurs and startups can carry out extraordinary projects. ElPlay is made up of 4 different areas.
ElPlay Acelera, an accelerator only for video startups.
If you're a startup and have an audiovisual project that excites you, we can help you finance and develop it. We'll give you up to €50,000. Not bad, eh? What do you think?
ElPlay Working, the workspace for audiovisual professionals.
Directors, scriptwriters, programmers, animators, visionaries. They're all invited if their mission is to make history in the world of audiovisuals.
ElPlay Productions, the production house for producers where every project is possible.
If your idea is good, you can produce it here, because we believe in great projects, even though the budgets are small. Also, here you'll find production and marketing experts to guide you every step of the way.
ElPlay Plateau, the place to make your audiovisual projects a reality.
A space with a full sound studio, dressing rooms, chroma keying, all in all, everything you could possibly need. This is ElPlay, the platform of audiovisual talent where we make extraordinary ideas come true. In ElPlay, everything is video. No video, no go.
I think that the video give a highlight about what the play is. But we have been working in three different lines. we have been thinking to set up a talent platform in order to create video for everything and for everyone. We truly believe that we can push for this format in order to create, let's say, the IKEA of video. Let's make it more approachable. Let's make it more easy for everyone to get. And as well, because we are truly believers of video and what is going to happen in the future, we create as well Play Acelera that is very much focused on innovation, and as well to those companies or small startups that they are focused on video. In fact, what we wanted to build, it was an ecosystem where everyone that is in the industry had a place, and we are able to build up something that is completely different. We believe that if we put together all the talent in the same place, we are going to be able to create something very different. And in general terms, this is what it is. But today we would like to talk a little bit more or more into detail about our betting for innovation and our betting for those startups that they want to change the future on the video industry. We got another little video that explains as well into detail what Play Acelera is, and we can discuss later on about this into detail. So, could you please place?
En el Play te ofrecemos un equipo de profesionales exclusivos para ti.
¿Y el dinero?
Acceso a una infraestructura de talento con el respaldo de una gran agencia de publicidad.
¿Y el dinero?
Ofrecemos clientes que pueden convertirse en inversores. Un espacio de trabajo con un diseño único y equipado.
¿Y el dinero?
Un plan de mentoring de 4 a 6 meses de duración.
¿Y dinero?
Y como no, te ayudamos con la financiación, ofreciéndote hasta 50.000 euros dependiendo de tu proyecto.
So, Carlos, ¿y el dinero?
El dinero.
Can you make a summary of
money,
what we really offer in Play Acelera?
Money matters, okay? But we think that not only, okay? So our goal is to identify those ones that they have already a product. In some cases, it will be in a beta, or in some other cases, it's already in the market. And we identify the needs of every startup that we would like to cooperate with them. Depending on that, we are going to provide a support for them. The approach would be to have an acceleration program up to 6 months. We offer as well mentoring and workshops in order to support their product to come out and to reduce the time to market. And I think as well that the added value, apart from what I have said, that we can provide to the startups is we got a strong relation with the clients already. And in many cases, we will identify some of the product and some of the startups that we got already market for those. So the whole idea is to support them to reduce the time to market, to help them as well to create a better marketing for their product, and as well to support them in those areas that these small startups, in some cases, they need some mentoring, and of course as well we would like to help them as well to come out to the market, and why not to have a round at the end, to have a round of investors in order to make them grow. So the whole idea is to have a strong bet for video and in different aspects. And what we truly believe is that even if we focus only in one sector, there are many different startups with different approaches that they are related to video, that they will have a place as well in Play Acelera. So as tomorrow, on our website, all the startups that they are keen to do this, they are more than welcome to fill up all the registration form, and we will have an evaluation, and then we will come back with the final selection of those.
Today we are launching the El Play Accelerator, so it's going to be from today or from tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning. From tomorrow morning, we will start with all the registration. Our goal is to close all the registrations on the 30th of October, and from that we will have 2 weeks to have a previous filter, and then we will have a selection up to 4 startups, and from them we will decide which one we are going to cooperate with, and early November probably to start with the acceleration program.
So that's what we believe, so that's what we think. So we think that the videos in the future in the agency, they have to be in the future and in the present, they have to be real, they have to be fast, they have to be close to real time, and they have to be cheap. That's our bet in terms of video, and that's the reason that we have created this project that it's called Play. So I don't know if perhaps some of you have something you want to say after the presentation of Play, or you have any question?
I actually believe that, just before the question, sorry, I actually believe that we are so lucky, that we are in a moment where money doesn't necessarily need to be redirected into marketing itself, because we have the luck of being able to upload videos to YouTube, for example, and that automatically is a marketing action. It's a marketing action that is costing you only the production value, which is of course costly, but it's at least inside resources from the company. And for that reason, I think we are so lucky that we have the chance, to create this content that will automatically, organically, and naturally bring people in, just like a marketing action. So I definitely think it's a great idea, and yeah, a great initiative.
We just realized that the video is changing really fast. Just if let's say 5 years ago, 6 years ago, if I said to the audience that a young guy that get up in the morning, upload a video on the net, he could make a profession out of that, nobody will believe that. On the inauguration of the Play, I was having meetings with different YouTubers, and to me, they are kids, because they are between 18 and 21 years old, and all of them, they are professional of this. So the video is creating new careers, careers that before they weren't in the market, and now there are many people that are living with that. So that was another reason why in the Play we wanted to attract talent, this young talent as well, that they can provide to the market fresh ideas. It's not about the volume, it's not about only the production, it's as well about the fresh ideas, the way that it's done. We just realized, and we were so surprised with videos that they last 10 seconds, and they are so strong. And that is one of the pillars as well that we would like to keep pushing in El Play, to keep promoting this fresh talent and new ideas, new formats as well.
Well, so, and if
in Argentina, I cannot stay without talking, sorry. I think that most of CEOs of companies are always asking for an argument to invest on this kind of new media, let's say. For some, it's old media, for them, it's new media. Let's imagine that we assume that marketing is the fight of brands for people's attention, yes? How do you call people's attention? And let's imagine that you are sharing right now something on Twitter. If your tweet is only text, it's highly likely that probably 1 people out of 10 will remember and maybe share that tweet. If that tweet you are sharing, besides text, is adding a picture or a photograph, that percentage will raise up to 3 out of 10. But what happens if you share, let's say on Twitter, my words right now with a video included on that tweet? How many people will remember that or even share that? Do you know? Probably 7 or 8 out of 10. So the increased rate of retention and sharing with video against without video is impressive. And since CEOs need this kind of data, this is a very impressive data. So this big data age we are living right now needs that the attention you are fighting for generates good quality content. It can be cheap or it can be expensive. It can be fast or it can be slow. But what it cannot be is irrelevant, because then you are doomed.
Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if you have any question. I think that today this roundtable is going to be the last presentation in for the schedule of today. Or we have someone? No, it's not. Sorry. So if you have any question?
Thank you for the, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, my name is Ignacio Vega. I'm the founder of a video company called Emotion. We do have a technology that converts plain content in the e-commerce ecosystem into videos automatically. And I want to congratulate you for your initiative. I think it is a reality that, I mean, my vision is video is eating the consumer. And that's basically what he's looking for. So my question here is going to be the following. What do you guys think is the real stopper or the bottleneck for video content to really be generated massively and occupy all the space? That will be my question. Thank you.
I would say that right now, and this is my personal opinion, the only boundaries it would be the technology. As the technology is evolving really fast, I think that we will see videos in everywhere and anywhere. I mean, we were discussing internally, and even you have seen it in the video. We imagine the future, many places that you don't have video right now, that you will have video. And it's about technology. We are talking about wearables now, but very soon the wearables, there will be videos as well. Anywhere, I mean, with the Internet of Things as well. It's not just to go to your fridge. You would be able to see on the fridge what you got left, and as well probably how to build up your recipe. So under my point of view, the only boundaries it would be, if any, technology. But again, I think that technology is evolving really, really fast.
I also think that probably it's going to depend on the mobile network, because we think that video is going to be, they're going to be seen on a mobile in the future, most of everything, and probably of the devices. So we are going to see many new devices as the wearables that we are going to be, they are going to appear in our lives, and we are going to see more and more devices where we can see the videos in any kind of devices, new devices that we are going to see, as we have seen in the videos. Probably a la carte of a restaurant, everything is going to be is going to be supported by a video. Okay, so thank you very much to Carlos, to Andy, and to Ocelote Carlos. I'm a fan of you. Thank you very much, and let's see you in the play. Thank you very much. Thank you.
That's it? Okay, guys, thank you very much. So let me get up here. So before you leave, don't leave yet. Have news. Shh, freeze there. Okay, so first of all, thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Thank you very much for staying. I hope you had a pleasant afternoon and a pleasant day. Tomorrow there's more. Tomorrow there's an official party here with a lot of alcohol, a lot of music, and a lot of friendship. So I hope you stay and network. And on my end, it was a pleasure being here. I hope you enjoyed, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.